Hey everyone, today is Thursday, the 15th of August, 2019. This is The Gap, episode 480. I'm Luke Lawrie. Joab Gilroy is here, and he has killed the goose. It's dead.
Yeah, I think seems like we're okay. I'm gonna do some more adjustments on this chair, but yeah, I have a brand new chair. It's pretty fucking great. And yeah, I've got an ergo chair. I was gonna buy the big expensive Aeron, the Herman Miller Aeron. That's the granddaddy of fucking office chairs. It's the one that everyone dreams of having. But it was $1,400.
Right.
And I did some like mental maths, and for it to be better than this current chair, because this is literally the same chair that I had last time. I just bought a new version of it. That one lasted 7 years. It cost me $600. So the Herman Miller would have to last for 16 years.
Yep.
16 to 17 years to pay itself off in the same way that this bad boy has, or I can just get another one of these cunts in another 7 years. And this was even cheaper this time. It was fucking $540 delivered. So yeah, economically speaking, they're both like, I think at the end of the day, the Aeron, what makes it a cut above is the construction means it will last 10 plus years. So there's a chance that an Aeron is absolutely lasting the 17 years, but there's also a chance that it lasts fucking 14 years, doesn't quite make the cut, is outside of the 12-year warranty, and then I'm fucked, right? Which, kaput, right? So I may as well go with this one, considering it is, I know it's fucking comfortable. It's been my favorite fucking chair for fucking yonks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, new chair.
I'm going to miss the PUBG sessions where we're trying to be really quiet and then just hear this honk. And you're like, oh, okay, the goose is back.
Because I'm like fucking adjusting my chair. I'm like fucking leaning in. And I'm like, and every time I move at all on the chair, it fucking honks. Anytime I touch the fucking desk, it fucking clangs and shit.
And anytime you're moving, just clickety clack.
Yeah, and yeah, anytime I'm moving in game, you go like, which I'm sure is brilliant audio. And then, of course, there's the cacophony of noise outside my fucking window with, most of Sydney's fucking air traffic landing directly over my house. So, yeah.
All the birds.
Basically, I play every game deaf with these tiny pockets of sound. And anyone who plays with me has to play under the same conditions. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good. Yeah, it's like you trying to hear footsteps outside, and like, is that a footstep or is that just Joab clacketing?
Yeah, you just learn to deal with it.
It's fine in most games except for PUBG, because the audio in PUBG is so bad that it makes it really hard to hear anything.
I was playing Apex Legends, and I think the audio in Apex Legends is worse, at least compared to the audio on Miramar and Erangel. I do not like. I think the audio on Sandhawk in PUBG is fucked. I'm not sure what it is. And sound carries different in Vikendi as well, and I'm not sure what that is. I think it's louder to get over the ambient noise of the wind howling that they have added to Vikendi for some reason. But it means you hear shit that's happening way further away. It's just balanced different. And
well, the verticality has always been a problem in PUBG.
That's true.
There was a post, I think it was this week, they're talking about they're redoing the sound in the game. Things like footsteps, like sort of like directional sound.
Yep.
But they didn't mention anything about the verticality stuff, because that's still a massive issue in that game. Whereas I was playing a game of Apex yesterday, and like I was fighting on top of this building, and I knew where the other guy was at every single stage of that fight. Like I could hear him underneath me. I could hear him what floor he was on.
Apex is definitely way better when they're fucking at the same location. But I think Apex's distance is a massive problem. It gives you, like, it takes a lot of adjustment. It was definitely a learning curve when I first started playing Apex. I think every game has a different measure of how far sound should be, like how far sound should travel. Because I remember it being a problem with Call of Duty Blackout as well. It was actually a way bigger problem in Blackout than either Apex or PUBG, in my opinion. But yeah, Apex, I find that as soon as they're on top of you, yeah, you can tell where they are in fucking 6 degrees and shit. Like, you know, in fucking where in space they are at any fucking moment, provided they're making any noise at all. But yeah, beyond, I'd say like 100 meters, I find it really difficult to work out exactly how far. They could be fucking 150, that could be 300 meters away, and it's all basically the same to me.
Yeah, just run in the direction. Eventually you find them.
Just go, yeah, just head there. Yeah.
Whereas PUBG, I mean, jumping back into PUBG recently has been like that. Like, oh, I don't really understand how far these people are. Like, you'll think they're really close, and then all of a sudden you'll see them, and you're like, they're fucking ages away. Yeah. Like, I have no chance at this shot. And then sometimes you just headshot them. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's so easy, don't worry.
They're actually 800 meters away, but I got this.
Did you see that video Heath posted?
Oh yeah, that was a fluke.
Jump and bang, Jesus Christ, that was some shit. Yeah, Heath's never made a shot like that in his entire fucking life.
Yeah,
I've played with games with the cunt for fucking 20 years, and yeah, he's never fucking. That's the first time he's ever hit a shot like that.
Well, that's just one of like the basketball half court mid shot, right? Is it like eventually you're gonna get one of them?
yeah, you shoot enough. Can't if you don't shoot, you don't miss. You know. Yeah. Anyway, Apex.
Yeah, let's kick off with Apex, the Crown event.
Yes. What have they fucking done with this? How do you fuck up something so hard? I haven't checked back on the forum since yesterday, but on Reddit, and on Twitter. I haven't checked like the hashtags or on the subreddit or anything, but holy shit. People were fucking rioting. And
it's still going.
I can't blame them. It is disgusting, the pricing they've put for these crates, these boxes or whatever. And it is just unnecessarily high. It's like 700 fucking Apex coins for a single fucking crate or tick.
Yeah, which is what? About $8.
$8, yeah.
Something like that.
And you need 24 crates to get all the stuff or something? Someone did it best.
There's like different pieces that you can get.
Yeah, I can't 100% remember. But yeah, $24-ish to get all the bits and bobs in this fucking event. And yeah, so that's fucking 8 times 24 is 192, right? So nearly $200 just to get all the fucking stuff out of this shit. And there's still no reasonable way to earn ticks through regular play. Once you pass a certain level, there's still it's just the fact that the ticks are the only way to get stuff as it is, because you can't reliably make, crafting materials to make your own shit. It is some of the grossest, most exploitative fucking cash grab mechanics I've ever seen in a game, and it, honest to God, makes me think I have to uninstall Apex, because I straight up uninstalled Overwatch when they did the same thing. To be fair, I had already been very close to uninstalling Overwatch for a long time. That was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know if everyone will remember. Super regular listeners might remember fucking 4 years ago. But I got into the initial alpha phase of Overwatch, like the very first wave, through sheer luck. I didn't even get we get invited to a lot of betas because we are, prominent podcasters. We didn't get I didn't get invited. I just fucking entered basically the lottery and lucked out. There was no NDA. I played it pretty fucking steadily the entire time it was coming up. I was a fan of it, and then they just kept doing things that I didn't agree with, and it kept shaping in a way that I didn't enjoy. I like it, you know, they committed to balancing for casuals and esports alike, and competitive, like in an even balance, which I directly disagree with. And yeah, the emphasis on team play meant that ultimately I felt like I could never fucking successfully carry a bunch of dipshits to a win, like without some sort of godlike streak in me. There's only, like, even then, there's only so much you can do. The way Overwatch is balanced, even if you were to twice in a row wipe a team, like you're the fucking DPS god, you would still not have success. Like, if you were then to not do it again and your team was still bad, you still would not have carried your team to the victory because you would not have made the objective. Like, the way it's balanced is such that there absolutely needs to be teamwork, which works for some people, but I think, yeah, when they introduced competitive, it just turned into a very large source of frustration for me, because I hate my success being tied to just fucking morons. So yeah, when they did the Summer Olympic Games thing, and they said that, you know, this is the only chance you'd ever have to get these items, and you could only get them from crates, and also I believe you could still get duplicate
like
items.
Weird mode as well.
Yeah, but I didn't like. I thought the modes, the custom modes, was fine, but like you'd only get them from fucking crates. You could still get duplicates at the time. Like, you could still get duplicates of items, and then they would break down at like half their fucking materials cost. I don't know if you can still get duplicates, but I believe they got rid of that. Yeah, like, you were just, the amount of crates you would have to get in that thing to get like everything was exorbitant, but it was also like, just to get the one thing you wanted was out of control. And I think the straw that broke me was I actually managed to get my first legendary in one of those crates, and I opened it up, and I believe it was fucking gold or materials or whatever it is they use to buy another skin. Sure. And it was, a legendary amount of fucking whatever that fucking unit is, currency unit, as opposed to an actual skin. And I'm like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm done. I'm done with this fucking game. Like, it's just frustration on top of frustration on top of frustration. I feel like I'm directly being exploited. That's it for me. And again, I feel like I'm being directly exploited. The flip side is that was a turning point for me very directly. If you've ever played PUBG with me, you'll notice that I don't wear any clothes in game, except for what I pick up off the ground. That is because I've divorced myself from the cosmetic system, and largely I've divorced myself from the cosmetic system in Apex, but it's a lot harder to do with, you know, the way it's set up. They've got a lot of things in there that sort of force you to look at your skins quite often, like the fucking little red dot. I know it shouldn't matter. But the reason it does, the reason it exists at all, is because it is there to fucking niggle at people who cannot handle having a notification. It's a fucking notification that something has changed about something in your characters, in your legends list.
Yeah.
So it's got that little red dot, and you click on it, and you click on the character with the little red dot, and you scroll, and you wipe out the red dot, and your fucking menu is fine again, and you can stop fucking turning the lights on off 3 times before you walk out of the fucking room. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's like, I know it's nothing. I know it's fucking, it doesn't matter, and I don't want the fucking skins anyway, and I should be able to just let it go, but I can't. So then I look at the skins while I'm scrolling through, and I see a skin that I think is cool, and then I'm never gonna pay for a skin. I'm never gonna buy this shit. But at the same time, I know it exists, and now I know what it costs to get it. And how, I can't fucking mentally resolve how fucking much that costs, because it is just straight up exploitative. It is too much. $200 or whatever the fuck it is, Someone on Reddit did the fucking math. It was like,
I think it was to like 40 USD.
yeah, it's fucking insane, right? Like, it's
for a 1 week event. It's a week, right?
2 weeks.
2 week event. Yeah. Not to defend it or anything, but going back to PUBG, I think the PUBG skins are terrible. Like every skin in that, I haven't changed my outfit since a year and a half ago. I just wear black.
Yeah.
And I get crates from the battle point system
Yep.
and just whatever. In that system, you get crates, and sometimes they're free.
Yeah.
Other times you've got to buy a key to open the crate. But all the skins are just like they're just bad.
Yeah.
Like most of them are crap, and sometimes it's like I opened one the other day and it was like a pair of white sandals or something like that.
Yeah.
And I get they put themselves in this weird spot where they're trying to go for sort of not over the top stuff, but they at the same time they are like they have those skins in there where they're really like out there skins. So anyway, like I don't think that system's any good at all. At least the stuff at Apex, I like some of those skins. Like I'll see them and be like, cool, I'm gonna use that one because that looks good. I'd never like. I don't think I'd ever go buy a crate unless they ditch like the battle pass system. Like the reason why I used to buy crates in Dota was because they didn't have battle passes or whatever you call them these days. So every couple of months I'd go fucking chuck them $10.
Yep.
And buy like 5 crates because I'm like, it's a free to play game.
You got $10
spent
easy.
1,000 hours in this game. And oh, by the way, I've just gotten an item that's worth $300 in the store anyway.
Yep.
Just like I don't care about any of that stuff, but I'm always about supporting the game and the developers. If I put a bunch of money into it, then or a little bit of money, then I'm cool with that. And that's why I put money into Apex for this season because I was like, it's a free game. I've played 200 hours of it since March.
Yep.
Since it came out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy to throw it in there, but I think that this is kind of the line. They have crossed that line.
Yeah.
and sprinted past it of like now they're just taking the piss.
Absolutely.
$7-8 for a single crate of random. Like you don't get to be like, I want this skin. It could be a fucking music pack for all you know, or I don't know what it's split up into, but I think there's a chance of you getting an epic or a purple or a legendary.
Yep.
Plus the Iron Crown system.
Yeah.
Which I don't get either.
But that's what they did. They did it on purpose, right? That's why it's so exploitative. They made it unbelievably confusing on purpose to try to make it as difficult as possible to force you into feeling like you may as well just spend fucking money, right? Yeah. Which is just so fucking gross. It is, fucked. It's so fucked.
Right.
Yeah, like there's that the way you get the fucking those coins is by doing challenges. The challenges all have ludicrously high like targets.
Multi-tiered targets. The one that is basically free, where you start getting Iron Crown points or whatever they are. The one I've got is 20 dailies, complete 20 dailies. So that's basically 6 days worth of dailies.
Yeah.
And if you miss a day, or if you do what I did last night, which was fucking grind out dailies, and I missed one by maybe 20 minutes or something.
Right. Yeah.
You're in trouble. It was like, it was something like get 5 kills with a machine gun or something, and I couldn't fucking find a machine gun for the life of me.
Yeah. Classic.
And then there were others in there which were, simple stuff like the new ones, jump through the iron gauntlet while it's on fire and you're wearing armor.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like easy, get 5 knockdowns in a new location. Like, yeah, easy. But the fact that there's like
reach the top 5 25
times, yeah.
What that
that's
is done
possible in
solo,
squad.
It's fine. Like it's not that bad, right? We can do that.
Solo,
huh?
In solo or squads?
It's in solos. You got to do it in solos.
You can do it in squads. It's across the entire thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I was playing squads last night.
And it was ticking up.
Yeah.
There's definitely one that's specifically solos. Does
I
that
think there
get
was
50 kills in solos then?
no. I think that's I can't remember, but there is one. I know there was one for like get a top 5 in solos.
Yeah.
And I did that one, and then it ticked over to get 25 top
Oh,
fives.
okay. So,
And I
right.
think that went to whatever because I was playing squads last night, and I'm pretty sure it was ticking up
Right.
because I did not do. I was just hot dropping in solos yesterday.
Like I was saying in our chat, like as far as I can tell, every fucking drop is a hot drop. You were saying that you were dropping alone a couple of times.
The first 5 ones I dropped was pretty much alone every single time, but then I went and started doing some of these challenges, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm just gonna hot drop with everyone."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just dropping sort of towards the end of the airplane run
Yep.
and just in wherever I could land, and I would look around, and sometimes there'd be one person with me, and I'd go get them. Other times it was like no one. I'd just run around. I got a second place. I got a couple of top 5s in there, but I got a second place, which I lost extremely badly to a caustic, because I was like panicking on just trying to keep him focused and outside the circle, and eventually I just ran out of ammo.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I actually fucking dig the pace of the game. Like it's so quick.
Solo.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot quicker than. Well, at least sorry, it's my pace of the game where I could just fucking run around and do whatever I want. Like I don't have to worry about other people looting or what they're doing. I can just off you go. See you later.
I mean, I definitely appreciate not having to wait for other people to fucking loot because it drives me fucking bananas. But on the flip side, I don't like. It's just so divorced from the Apex experience that I just can't fucking do it. I fucking hate it. Like it is RNG as fuck. What's like what you get out of it? Like what happens is so RNG. It's out of control. Like I was saying, I was hot dropping a lot. I wasn't hot dropping. I was just dropping. But because there's no longer
A team with you.
a team with you, if 3 people drop in a location, that's a mild spicy heat. That's it'd be the same as if 2 other fucking teams landed on you. That's a lot of different targets, right? And
yeah, instead of like 12, 15 people, at least you've got their different teams and they're fighting each other, whereas 15 people is you versus 15 fucking people.
yeah.
It's harder to manage.
And I landed at a pair of houses in the middle of fucking nowhere, and some other cunt landed with me, and he got the only fucking gun on location.
Yeah.
So I had to try and punch him to death. And I fucking nearly did it too. But like, still, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? If every
Look
time
around,
I drop,
make sure there's no one with you.
I get a fucking like, where was I gonna go? Right from there,
There's plenty of places.
go north.
Drop at swamps. No one drops at swamps.
Just arrive late at Skulltown. Actually, my coldest drop was at Swamps, where I landed like entirely alone. But that was another one. I don't know if dear listeners, you've looked at my Twitter, but I took a fucking screenshot of a solos game that ended at Swamps, and it ended over the fucking mountain between Swamps and that little fucking like. No, not Swamps. The Hydro Dam, the mountain between Hydro Dam and just sort of west of Swamps. There's a mountain there. North
with
of
like the
Hydro.
giant pipes, and then to the right of that, there's a like a staircase that takes you up there.
Yeah. Ended there. The circle ended over the mountain itself, which meant that eventually people were going to get stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. And what happened was 3 of us were on one side of the mountain. I got fucking boomed because I wasn't paying enough attention. I was too much busy marveling at this circle and what was going to do next.
And then you ended up on the low side.
So the dude who killed me, I would have wound up on the low side anyway. But the dude who killed me, he wound up on the low side of this fucking like massive wall. And so he died to the fucking circle. He actually ran out into the circle to try to get up, but never made it. Like by the time it was just him and one other person left. The ticks were fucking a quarter of a fucking chunk of health each tick. He actually tried to heal through it. And died faster than he could heal. Like that was pretty fucking. That's pretty RNG. Normally in a 3-person team, if that circle showed up, you'd send one person into one half of the fucking circle, or you'd zip line up to the fucking top of the mountain, or
you sit on the mountain.
Hey,
yeah, and just sit on the mountain. Yeah,
you'd have some sort of solution, but you don't have that in this. There's like the game is not balanced for solos in any way, shape, or form. The map isn't big enough. The locations are fucking clustered, which means that even like coal drops will still be kind of hot because there is an impetus for people to fucking land somewhere where 60 other cunts aren't fucking landing, right? Yeah. So it's super tricky, right? There's no way for you to fucking know how things are going to go out. I had the entire swamps to myself and exited the swamps with blue armor still, and ran into the dude. The dude who got me, I turned on him. He had purple armor. I still wouldn't have killed him if he'd had blue as well. I might have killed him if I'd had purple because I would have lived longer. But if we were both blue, the amount of health he had left, he got the jump on me. He definitely deserved to kill me. I'm not trying to take that away from him, right? What I'm saying is though, I got RNG fuck going through the swamps. Normally it's not that big a deal because you can sort of manage it because you've got enough opportunities to fucking move on to the next place. But the other thing that's happening is because they've emphasized placement so heavily, what's happening is like heaps of cunts are camping in corners and like waiting. They will die to the fucking zone just to get a kill on you. Like they're heavily emphasized placement and getting a kill to the extent that people are like dog shit going for fucking the worst kinds of kills, like just the worst campiest kills, which is something that I've spoken about is a problem in ranked. The idea that it's utterly divorced from the regular fucking Apex experience, but it's really bad in solos where you don't have an opportunity for a teammate to come in and fucking get you back up or anything. That is your game finished when it happens, and it's infuriating. You just sort of, cool, well, I guess I'm re-queuing. I gotta see how this fucking drop goes again. I feel like in the last 5, there's fucking 3 circles left. You've pissed away a lot of fucking time looting the entirety of swamps for, just to be fucking capped in the back, right? Like, right. It's fucking annoying. Yeah, like, heaps, like, I was either hot dropping or looting an area, like, looting a bunch of areas and getting top 5 and then dying to a camper. It's just not Apex. It's just
check your corners.
Yeah, check your corners. Like, of course, right? Like, but how many fucking corners can you fucking check, right? Like, at some point, you gotta fucking be somewhat aware of the dude who's shooting at the fucking, like, at the fucking next thing.
Yeah.
Some corners that you just don't think are worth, like, why would anyone fucking hide there? Well, yeah. Like, yeah. Obviously, at the end of the day, right? I'm not saying that I don't deserve, I deserved to win when I got killed by a camper. I'm saying it's not the Apex experience.
Positional gameplay.
Like, it's something you'd see in PUBG, and if you died to in PUBG, you'd be like, well, yeah, I guess that's fine. But the way you move in Apex, the way the pace of the game plays in Apex means that it shouldn't have fucking played out that way, and it fucking feels shit, man. Like, it just feels like a shitty way to lose.
Yeah, and I think that they're going for like a faster paced game in that mode, especially like the circle. That second circle is super super small, and it shows you when you're dropping as well where the circle is.
Yeah.
Not immediately, but I think as the plane run starts.
Yeah. As it starts, yeah.
Or the spaceship, it'll show you where it's gonna land. I had a game. 3 days ago, when I was playing with a teammate. For some reason, the third dude disconnected.
Right.
So we were just running around, being pretty aggro. I was just following this guy around, and the circle was north side of the map, and we were running into the circle through the caves. In the middle of the map, there's the caves that sort of split up into 3 sections near Market. And there was a fight at Skulltown, and like the circle is coming in, and it's like this the zone is outside, like Skulltown is outside, and this dude just starts running in to the zone. And I'm like, all right, this is what we're doing. And so we get into Skulltown. These two teams are fighting. We murdered two teams, just me and him.
Yeah.
We start looting up, and then I hear a dude walking, like crouch walking, and I start like mashing F, and then like one dude comes running out. We then murder this other guy who must have been in a third team. We loot up all that stuff. At this point, we're taking some damage from the zone, but we're like geared up because we've just murdered 3 teams. So we got all purples, tons of heals, ammo, and so eventually we get back into the circle, and the zone is sort of just in the cave entrance as you're going north, and like the next zone is even further north, and around towards the bunker is just in, so on the left, and we can hear shooting up there. And so he then goes outside the zone.
Oh my god!
Like outside a bunker, and now we're lighting up 2 more teams outside the zone, and we murder all of them. And but the zone starts coming in, and we're taking like a lot of damage now. And he actually ends up going down because he didn't have enough time to heal from this fight. And I just run past him like as I'm healing up. I run past him and get back into the zone. And so this circle is basically, do you know where sort of north of bunker is? There's another alleyway, and there's it's like 2 elevations. Like there's like a bridge type thing there, and then just as the alley ends, there's a car that's sort of blocking that area. And so I'm sitting there. I run back out the circle. I pick this dude up, and then I run back out, and he eventually goes down a second time, but he's now crawling again. Like he's made momentum, so he's gone all the way from bunker, and he's made it like halfway. I've picked him up. He's gone back down, and like he's still crawling again. So then I run back out a second time, pick him up, and he gets back to the car this time. And so now we're both healing like at this car. Like you can't do that in solos. Yeah. You can't like out heal the circle.
Yeah.
Because anyway, that was a cool
That's
experience
awesome.
of just me and some random dude.
Did you win?
And then we got rolled up by a team that must have been running past. But that was a fun game of just killing people outside the circle. It was just a weird way to play.
Yeah.
The other fun game I had was the first game that I played back the other night after I'd been playing like a week of PUBG, and I just went ham. Like, I think I got 12 kills, and I sent you guys a clip of one moment where I think this is like 9 kills in, and we're getting down to about 3 or 4 teams left, and we've just taken out 2 other teams, and eventually we're running up to the top right-hand corner of the map, and one of our other guys gets in a fight. He goes down, and I realize I've got no grenades, so I then run back to one of the bodies of the guys I've just killed, and I pick up like an arc star. And the reason I left the fight was because our lifeline ran over there, so I knew like he was going to be fine. And then I get back to this fight, and I see the dude behind the rock, like he's about to run out because the lifeline's down there healing him, and so I just fucking ping this arc star. This dude runs and hits him directly on the thing, and as soon as he gets hit, he immediately turns around and starts running the other way. And I've got a wingman, and I'm pinging him with the wingman, like 3 hits. The arc star explodes, and then I eventually down this dude. It was just like really good shooting on top of a fucking perfect arc star. Like I'm like easily 100 meters plus away. This dude, like I'm leading this arc star like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. And
then he goes down, and then I think I cut the clip at that point, but I eventually run up behind. One of our other guys goes down after, I think it was a lifeline goes down, and then I finish off that team, and then I eventually come back and revive the other 2 guys, and then it's the last squad left, and we ended up winning that actual game. But just like awesome moments like that where it's you play a really fast-paced game with just random strangers who are on just the same sort of level as you. Like, fuck it, we're just going to run at everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just constant action for 25 minutes of 12, 15 kills for like me, and then plus whatever the other guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's just a different style of play. Like I don't get that stuff in PUBG. It's
No.
very hard to do that.
No, no, I don't either. But I think I actually like that about PUBG. You know, like I like that it's different to Apex. I want Apex to be, you know, high octane, hot drop shit and high action.
Hmm.
My problem is that I find it really difficult to switch between the two. I find it really difficult to switch between the pace of both of them
Yeah.
because not bad habits, just habits that I have from one that don't carry over to the other that
Sure.
lead me to potatoing. So it takes me a bunch of time to fucking reacclimatize to whichever game I'm playing. But yeah, like basically, I want PUBG because it's got downtime. It's got like high action, high intensity moments, but then it's got downtime, and then it's got peaks and troughs. Whereas Apex is just fucking
There you
yeah,
go. Most of the time.
yeah, like. And it like I've found generally that the times when I try to force downtime on Apex are the times when I just don't find a lot of success. Short of having the perfect fucking circle and already having the perfect gear. Yeah, like then I would be hard pressed to move away, but generally the way Apex is balanced, like you got to give it. As bad as it is for solos, it's really well balanced for the trio game style. I think duos would be like better than solos. I know people want to play on their own and they don't want to have to rely on fucking randoms, and some people don't have fucking two friends, but like it's just not Apex. Like I was talking to we did some videos with Critical Motion, the PUBG streamer for the Chiefs, and in his mind, they could package up PUBG solos and squads and sell them as two completely different games because he doesn't play them remotely the same way, and they are completely different games in his opinion, like 100% different. And like he's got a good point, right? Like they don't play the same at all. What you get out of solos is completely different to what you get out of squads. It's like I was saying the other week, what you get out of third person is completely different to what you get out of fucking first and stuff like that. Like it's just very different games. That's one of the things that I'd never really thought about in a battle royale was how just seemingly subtle changes can drastically alter the makeup of the game. And it feels to me like beyond some good alterations to the circle, Respawn didn't really consider how big an impact solos would have on the nature of Apex, because it is so different. It plays so different, and they have incentivized some just un-Apex play through the construction of solos. And now's the time for someone to start yelling outside my fucking window.
But I think that like it's not. This is just a timed event. It's not. I don't think it's coming in for good, right?
No, it isn't. But it doesn't I don't know. Just yeah, it's just indicative of a general lack of understanding, I think, to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to uninstall Apex yet, but they're on two strikes, like 100%.
What was the first strike?
I got camp killed, and I was too
Right.
too grumpy about it. Second strike was the terrible monetization. Yeah, yeah. No, they're on the brink. Obviously, I don't think they give a fuck about one Jobo fucking uninstalling their game. But yeah, I can't be the only one who thinks this way. I know it often seems like I'm the only one who thinks any way about anything in particular. But 2 years from now, when the rest of my games critics peers wake up and work out the same things that I said 2 years ago. You know, like with Hitman or Halo or Call of Duty or Doom or just I don't need to go on, but I'm always right. So people will eventually work it out, and it's not going to be good. Yeah. Anyway, you seem to be having fun. That's the important thing is that there are people having fun with it, right? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if I'm not having fun because A, it's a limited time event. It's not like they change the game to solos all the time, and B, no, that's probably it. Just A.
Yeah. Did you check out the new area?
Yeah.
I don't like where they've put it. I feel like they should have put it in somewhere where there wasn't already something going on.
That was a pretty fucking that was a pretty good area in my opinion as it was already, like squished between Thunderdome and Airfield. Like that was
and Skulltown. Like you've got Skulltown, which is probably the most popular place on the map.
Airfield is second,
and then this place,
and then like Airfield was second. Like it was the second hottest drop that you could drop, and then you've got this between the two. I don't think you're thinning out either, Airfield or like people probably just stop dropping Airfield if anything. No, they should have dropped it over, done something about fucking swamps. Swamps is fucking 16 kilometers long, and it's tedious as fuck. It's just a swamp. Like, there's not a single good swamp in any game ever, and Apex is no different. Yeah. Something over there, or something like between the that giant space between fucking artillery and that one compound just north of fucking where they put the cage or whatever the fuck it's called. There's a Queensland-sized fucking space that you could dump something in, and they're like, cram it over that side of the over the side of the map that's got everything already fucking.
Yeah. They did add an extra that giant building down that section.
Where?
Like where all the hives are.
Hives.
Yeah, the section you're talking about, like in the foresty area.
Yep.
It used to be like a burnt trees and whatnot. I think, or at least now it's burnt trees.
Right.
There's a giant building that they put in there.
Okay.
Sort of that leads into swamp, and then on the other side is the dam.
No, I'm talking about fucking further west. Talking about directly south as artillery.
Yeah.
Like you go out.
Forest is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're talking about fucking east of.
I'm talking about when you keep going.
You're talking about east of whatchamacallit. Like, yeah. That big fucking chunk of fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to. What do you reckon? Treetops.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be interesting. A bit of verticality. Might further exacerbate the Pathfinder problem that I think Solos is having.
Treetops over at swamps.
Yeah, they're pretty good as long as you know how to get up to them. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Well, maybe that was it. I can't remember anymore. Right. Yeah, no, like I'm enjoying it. I was playing when I was jumping in squads yesterday, just trying to do the get 5 kills in.
Oh yeah.
Octane's Gauntlet, it's called. I dropped at one point, and along with half of the server.
Yeah.
And I landed at one of the crates, opened it up, there was nothing in there, but there was like 3 other people at the other crates around me. So then I just ran literally into the middle of the arena, jumped on the jump pad and went to, there's like a building that's towards like the airport side. It's like a 2-story sort of really small building.
Yeah.
And I pick up a Mozambique because why not?
Of course.
But I hear that the entire time someone's behind me, and I'm getting punched while this is going on.
Oh, yeah.
I end up picking up Mozambique. I shoot at a guy on my right, and I turn around. The dude that's chasing me is still fucking chasing me, and eventually I go down. And it was fucking Arthur.
Let's go.
So I jump into his. I'd fired up, and he was streaming at the time. I'm like, oh, he stopped punching me. He's like, oh, was that you? I'm like, yeah. Thanks, mate.
Let's go.
Yeah. I don't normally see people that I recognize.
No.
Like, I see names of people that are familiar that I see, but
Yeah, that you've remembered from other
people
games
that
and stuff.
usually people we play with, I don't really
No,
see them much.
that's true.
Just names that like familiar names that are always on top that I
Yeah.
regularly see. Anyway, like I'm digging the pace of the solo stuff. It's not something that I would jump into all the time. I still liked I haven't jumped back into ranked for basically since that sort of launch, but because mainly I'm just doing like dailies and stuff like that. Like I'll just jump in and do some leveling.
Rank's an unimaginative grind. Like they didn't. It hasn't got proper MMR, so like it's not real ranked. It's just whoever grinds the most, like, will get there eventually. Like,
yeah,
I got no time for those kinds of ranking systems. Yeah,
I mean, it gets to a point where it's skill based because you won't be able to get any higher unless you're getting kills and that sort of thing. Otherwise, you just be I guess you can, but it's not going to get you anywhere quickly. It'll take you forever.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the grind.
Yeah,
land on your own. Try to place in the top 10. No, you got to get top 5 to equal out. Yeah, and get a couple of like garbage kills. It's completely different to the regular Apex experience. I got no fucking interest.
Yeah, I think they'll fix it, but it'll just take them time. It's poorly implemented at the moment.
Yep. Anyway, speaking of games where you see like names you recognize all the time in kill feeds, PUBG. I've been playing a fuck ton more of PUBG. Constantly seeing like high quality players and freaking out at what's going to happen when I encounter them, and then inevitably they're dead before we run into one another. But yeah, I had some like awesome games of PUBG. Had some fucking boners as well. I was playing with the third-person crew the other day, and we were playing third-person. We had fucking Sandhawk 4 times in a row. I hate...
It was broken.
Sandhawk. It was broken?
Yeah.
Oh, was it like...
Popping Sandhawk the entire night.
Right.
They were doing maintenance. They had an announcement on the page. They were doing maintenance at some stage.
Right.
And I don't know if they were doing maintenance at the stage where we were playing.
Right.
But I didn't get anything other than Sandhawk that entire night.
I don't want to play Sandhawk. I don't want to play Sandhawk ever. I literally never want to play Sandhawk. I would be happy to not play Vikendi again as well. But like if I had a choice between Vikendi and Sandhawk and Hitler in a room and I had only 2 bullets, I'd shoot Sandhawk twice. Like, I hate Sandhawk. So yeah, we were on Sandhawk because apparently that's all we could have been on. And we just had the fucking most... I've never had to carry as hard as I ever did in that game because they like your boy who wants to run out into the fucking zone and get into a fucking firefight.
This sounds like my squad. This is who I need to play with.
And
aggro dudes.
And trying to get us to just get into the fucking zone. And then so we're running across Sandhawk, and I'm like, okay, we're going to run into Paradise, thinking this is like a fucking fair compromise, right? Like these thirsty cunts will finally be okay with, we're going to go into Paradise, so at least we'll get some action there, right? Like, I guess we don't have to run out of the circle to get some action. We just run into the circle, and like it's in the center of the circle. It's Paradise. It's always fucking hot. It's always spicy. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to go, oh, no, I don't think we should go to Paradise. No, that's pretty... No, what are we, just going to die? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Fuck it. Let's just go in. I just fucking ran off. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just going to fucking run into Paradise. It was empty. Of course it was empty. There was no one there. So we had to continue moving on. I got fucking... I think this game, 8 kills. I was fucking smashing. I was... smashing, but it ended just north of Paradise. There was no shortage of action. Like after we left Paradise, it was fucking spicy as fuck. Because there was still fucking 30 people left or something, and we were on phase 4 on Sandhawk. You never see that many people fucking left. I think by some fucking random chance, nobody had fucking managed to run into one another or something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but yeah, it just started fucking hammering.
Yep.
We got second in that game, and it was basically just bad luck on my part. I was the last one alive. I'd managed to. I thought I knew where the other team was, but it turns out there were two other teams.
Right.
So I like smash one dude, smash the other one, and I'm like, okay, his teammate's got to be over there. But then this last dude was like sort of crawling next to a fucking wall just near me, and I couldn't hear him over the fucking gunfire. And he pops his head up. Third person peeked me and lined me up in third person, just fucking slam me. We would have won if his teammate had been. Or he had been on their team, because yeah, as soon as I killed, like dropped the second one, they both insta died, and I was like, fucking heart going fucking 16 fucking thousand kilometers an hour, because I'm like, it's a different team.
Yeah.
Ow, sorry. Yeah, managed to work it out. With a bullet in my head. So that was good. We had another good one on Miramar. 4 of us left. 7 people left. Second last phase ended on a mountain in Miramar. Circle landed on either side of the mountain, and what you do in a situation like that is quite simple. Is you'd split up, you'd send one person over one side of the mountain and send the others over the other side of the mountain. Keep the others over the other side of the mountain and see what happens.
What if you're playing solo?
You just die.
You probably die anyway to the physics.
That's true.
You're like, I'm going to climb the mountain.
I'm gonna fall down this tiny drop and die, and break my legs and die. No, what we did instead was we got into a firefight just before the fucking circle closed, and we all got stuck over one side of the fucking mountain, and naturally the circle ended on the other side.
Yep.
And
apexed, bitch.
We got apexed, and I begged them, begged my teammates to have 2 of them go north, and 2 of us go south. But they figured it would be safer for us all to go south, and there was 2 and 1. There were 3 teams left. We came third. Apparently 1 was on the northern side of the other circle, and 2 of them were on the southern side of the circle. So when I came running around the corner, still in the fucking blue, and they started to shoot me, they very quickly shot all of us, because we were all coming the fucking same way in the most efficient path through the fucking blue. So we died in a game that we 1000% should have won. But what can you do? Nobody wanted to go north. Yeah.
So what's with this team? Are they like purists or something, where they've been playing PUBG since the start, and this is the way it's supposed to be played in third person?
Oh no, that Miramar game, that was first person crew. That was Heath,
right.
Drew, Zio, and me. Yeah, we just fucked that one up. We should have won it. We'd done pretty well. We'd really owned the fucking our part of the circle, our entire fucking northern quadrant in the circle. Just fought everyone off from coming up near us. We'd done it really well. We just fucked up that last bit and screwed it up. No, the third person crew, they don't like first person.
Boys. I want to know about them.
I think they just don't like the first person perspective in general.
Right.
I think it makes them sick or something, motion sickness type shit. So they can't play it. Yeah, that's about it. And I think they like being able to peek, but they don't play right. First person is the game mode you'd play if you're going to be like thirsty motherfuckers and chase after every fucking kill, because nobody can fucking third person peek your ass, right? Like you can run up to fucking windows and jump over them and fucking like get cunts, right? But third person, people just fucking hide on the fucking ledges and pop you as soon as they come out. It drives me bananas. I enjoy playing with them because, yeah, it is a different style of game. But, yeah, there are definitely moments where I just get third-person peeked and it drives me fucking nuts.
Maybe we need to make like rules, like when we play Underlords.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not allowed to use knights, otherwise you're banned.
Sure.
But in PUBG,
Yep.
after the first circle, you're not allowed to loot in buildings anymore.
Yeah.
Or we can't stay in the same spot. We have to keep moving.
Yeah. What if we get the perfect circle?
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Then you start clearing the edges of the circle.
Right. Okay. I can dig it. I like the
The,
no looting, except for if short on meds. It's probably the only reason you should be looting after a certain point, or loot bodies. Right? Like you can loot bodies, but you can't loot
bodies. I think bodies are fine because at that stage you're getting better loot anyway.
Yep.
Like the whole point of getting kills is getting better loot.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's the idea of fucking just sitting in houses the entire game looting, and then not doing anything that annoys the shit out of me.
I don't, like I said, I don't hate it. I like it sometimes. I like the change of pace, but yeah, we definitely adopt that strategy when playing with Nate, because he only wants to play maximum thirst games.
Yeah.
He wants the hottest drops. He wants the fucking It's crazy in PUBG as well because it's not like you can get respawned like you can in fucking Apex. So the hottest drops don't make any sense to me at all. I don't want a hot drop ever, essentially. I want a medium hot drop. I want
You're not landing school, yeah.
Hey? Not
You're
landing
landing
school, yeah.
every game.
No. But yeah. Yeah, I want like some heat. I want to be able to get in some firefights early so that we can like test ourselves on the battlefield.
Because like in Skulltown, in PUBG, you can land at school, which is Skulltown, and lose a fight but still be able to play.
Yeah.
Because your teammates can get you back up. Whereas in PUBG, if you land at school, then you're just watching.
You're watching for the next half an hour is you watching a Twitch stream.
Right, so you can do that in Apex
Yeah.
and either have a 5-minute game or get knocked out in 2 minutes and be respawned 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's fine at that stage, and I think that's where Apex has introducing that mechanic is kind of
the third person crew were trying to like spitball some ideas on how a respawn might work, and their thought was
new plane.
Well, their thought was you had to loot a flare off your teammate's body, and then you could fire the flare up. And no,
I think there has to be. Otherwise, it's just like constantly fucking people coming in all the time. Unless,
and there'd have to be a second plane then. Like you'd have to have a timing cutoff. Like phase 4, no more flares. Like go in, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one plane that comes in.
do it.
I don't recall. We didn't play it, so we couldn't get games.
Plane?
Might have been. But yeah,
I think they could do it.
Like at the start of a phase 3 or 4, right? Anyone who shot up a flare or has had a flare shot up is on the plane and gets dumped, right? Like it's a new line on the I don't know, center of the fucking circle, right? And then you get dropped out. Maybe it's some sort of like quick falling parachute, so you can't get fucking shot out of the sky before you fucking land, ideally. Or like,
do you think you can move?
Yeah, I think you'd have to be able
Slightly,
to.
Yeah.
And you still get to like choose when you jump or whatever, but like you have to be able to spread into the circle towards your teammates or something. And like
I think they've got that in there, right? From the war modes, it's a faster parachute system.
Yeah, exactly.
When we used to play,
it
was pretty quick. I don't know what it's like now with the revamped parachute system, or do they still have war modes?
Yeah, they still got war modes.
They might be in custom games or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
in custom games. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Like, yeah, you could do that and just have the ability to like get back into the fight, but everyone can see where like the body's going down. They can see when the flare was shot up, that kind of
They
stuff.
know where teams are.
And it's sort of a subtle indication as to where teams are. I think you probably wouldn't have it in competitive initially, unless it like
I think you'd trial it.
yeah, unless it turned out it was really good. I think what I'm saying is you wouldn't start off with it in competitive. Don't like Fortnite it up and introduce a fucking mech that is now how people are going to fucking win esports games or some shit.
Or
Like
a giant tank.
yeah, yeah. Well, the tank's fine. Just don't hide behind a fucking hay bale, Luke.
I didn't know they could be destroyed. No one told me this. It's like when no one tells us how to parachute. We haven't played for fucking 2 years, and apparently there's a button you can press to long float. Oh no, just wiggle it. Just wiggle it. They say. Go away.
I'm all the wiggle. I only do the wiggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, still on PUBG.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if there's any changes happening. I guess PUBG Nations was on over the weekend. Team Australia played horribly. They did one day which they were pretty good, and the rest of it was trash. Like that last day, I think they 16th, 14th, and then maybe like a top 3 or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Really poor. That was a great tournament. Really interesting way of doing it. Yep. Obviously, the ending was Russia coming back from behind. Korea was basically winning that entire tournament up until the last match. I think the very last match was 5 points difference or something, super close. And Korea just decided to play a different. Well, they were both playing pretty passive. Russia and Korea were pretty much the last 2 teams into the circle, the first circle going in. Like, they just didn't want to engage anybody because they were waiting to see one of the teams get knocked out.
Yeah.
And then at that stage, they can start playing or they're basically rank tanking at this point.
Yeah.
But then Russia all of a sudden like found themselves in positions where they could get kills, and they started engaging in fights, and all of a sudden they were up 5 points because they're getting kills, and Korea's in the forest hiding in tree, they're in bushes just hiding, and then they ended up getting, I think, not like 2 kills or something like that, and then sandwiched between a couple of teams, and at that stage they got knocked out, and it was pretty much Russia's game because they were still going for kills, and like they were being active. And
I'd love to see PUBG pivot towards having coaches that are watching. Like live watching, like Counter-Strike style, who are making, like, have coaches who are shot calling.
Are they allowed to call during the game though?
No, that's what I'm saying, right? I think they should pivot to having them be allowed to call during the game, because then you like, it's not even like Counter-Strike, which is it's good for like just basic tactics and strategy management, but this would be meta management, right? This would be great for, like, the South Korean coach could be like watching the kill feed and being like, okay, Russia's 2 kills up. You guys have to make some moves, or like we can afford to lose if they go 1 more kill up. Like we are at a huge deficit and we need to chase or something like that, right? Like it'd be such a huge change to a player coach. Like the in-game leader role at the moment is sort of trying to manage all of that stuff all at once.
Yeah,
I don't think the Nations Cup is necessarily the format for it, because I don't think it was it was competitive, but it wasn't competitive by nature. It was sort of anti-competitive. Yeah,
sorry, it wasn't a fan competition. It was
all-star stuff.
Players voting for each other.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like it'd be such an interesting way for the game to evolve to require a different sort of thinking that didn't necessarily hinge on like mechanical skill. You could see it'd be a long-term solution for early players. Like I'm just trying to imagine what happens when the likes of Zoid, right, stop being able to like hit their shots as much, right? Because he's obviously a fantastic shot caller, a really, really good fucking like playmaker, as evidenced in the GLL, right? But at some point, you know, your mechanics slip away from you, and what do you do then, right? Like esports has never really answered that question except for Counter-Strike. It's unusual to see coaches all that often, right? Like, well, I guess Dota as well. Like, it's
but the PUBG Nations had coaches.
yeah, but they weren't allowed to talk during the thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair though.
It doesn't. I don't know, man. Like
they get while the teams are playing, you've got that 30 minutes or whatever the period of the gameplay is, and then after that you go and talk to your coaches.
That's after the fact. That's a recount. That's just breaking shit down. Coaches in sports can talk to their fucking players.
Yeah, generally it's during a timeout. Like they're not actually on the floor. There's normally a LeBron James on the floor leading that team, or a point guard, or someone.
You can still hear your fucking coach from the fucking sideline.
Yeah, well, what if they're on the sideline? You're like yelling out, like, I don't know, but that'd be fucked up because
that would be fucked up.
Korea's behind you.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, that'd be fucked up. But my solution kind of works, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Yeah, but I think that's because of the nature of the game as well. We'll talk about it later, but like the OG documentary looking at like how coaches work in that game is completely different to not completely different, but they're doing a lot more high level stuff compared to what's going on in these games. Like they've just got to know drops and styles of play, like where teams are dropping and that.
Would they be encouraged to actually pursue that level of information? Like it would be.
But you're talking about like looking at a kill feed and trying to just work out scoring differences between two teams, like
that's
whether they should rank tank
one aspect of what they would be doing. They'd also be looking at the kill feed and be like, okay, well, we know that Taiwan dropped here and Australia dropped here. So if Taiwan just shot them, then either Taiwan's moved down here, so they'll be at this compound, or Australia has moved this direction, so they'll be like. Now we know, we have a better idea, understanding of where Australia and Taiwan are, right? And from there we can interpret that information to work out that, you know, maybe Finland is here, Germany might be, Germany just got a kill, so, you know, they just clashed with South Korea, they must be down here or something like that, right? Like, there's a lot of extra information that a kill feed can give you that you might not be immediately equipped to fucking know, but somewhat like this is the sort of shit that like a coach in Dota would be doing, right? They would be like, well, we know that they, you know, favor this pick after picking Pudge. So they're probably going to do this. We want to ban this, or we want to counterpick this, right? That's the sort of shit that I'm thinking that a high level coach could actually bring to a shot calling coach could bring to the table that just isn't possible for a player who is attempting to also not die in a game of PUBG, which is obviously the ultimate risk at all times. I just think there's so many, like, such an opportunity to really revamp the way a single game plays out if the person making the, like, calling the shots is actually has all the information that they need, like all this extra information at hand. I think it'd be huge. I don't know. I think it might be a logistical challenge.
Yeah.
In that, you know, either you need a PC to sequester the mats to make sure that they're not screen cheating on anyone, or, you know, just have them...
Or looking at the audience getting tells from people or something.
Yeah, like you'd have to... Like, there'd be some tricks to solving it, but, like, all communications is done digitally anyway, so it's not like that's a huge problem. You could absolutely just chuck them in a fucking hotel room. They don't need to be...
Or just give them another computer and have them be a spectator.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, just have them locked in on that team.
Yeah.
Keep them in first-person view. They can still do... Like, they can still... Like, there's no...
Mark locations on the map.
There's no dead talk rule, like there used to be in fucking ancient times Counter-Strike and shit. So like they could still like call out, oh, did you see that person or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be a problem with that because everyone on the team can do that when they're dead. So yeah, I think it'd be a fucking revolution in the way the game played out. Basically, then I could be a coach. I'm just trying to make a situation where I can obviously coach an esports team.
Right.
And be the best at it. And I would be the best. I'd obviously be the best. We'd win every fucking chicken dinner if everyone would just do what I said. And also I could shoot better. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was a good tournament. I watched a bunch of it. I watched all the games on the last day and most of the games on the other days, but it was fun to watch. A bit disappointing, the Australian team.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from the last big tournament where our guys played pretty well, like a top 3 finish, and then turning up at this one, and it was just this. Yeah,
they just didn't have the team synergy that they clearly have established over a long period of time.
And one of the players had to drop out quite early to the tournament.
Yeah.
And so there was a sub that played in.
Yep.
But either way, no, I thought it was well done.
Yep.
I didn't like I don't like the fact that it's so hard to gain any information about some of these tournaments. Like, I want to know what the scoring system is.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the scoring system is for that.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I know what the scoring system is for the PUBG stuff overall, because you can go to their website and be like, here's their official tournament rules. But nothing that I could find about PUBG Nation said, like, oh, we're using the same scoring system. It was just...
And it didn't seem to be the same scoring system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was kind of annoying. But yeah, I think it's due for, like, this is their international is coming up, right? Their big tournament in
later.
They announced it. It's October or something like that. It's going to be in LA and then I think San Francisco.
Yeah, you'll be there.
Yeah, I might be able to get tickets.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping once that has finished, then it's like, all right, we're going to have a month off, and then we're coming back, and here's the fucking meta change.
Yeah.
Like, what happens in Dota, where they just, like, just blow the game up, and it's a completely different game for... Like, I would like to see them be like, all right, we're trialing respawns.
Yeah.
It might not work, but at least they're trying stuff. Like, there's been things introduced into Dota 2 that is like, that is fucking crazy. Like, completely changing maps and adding in new mechanics, like ping systems and whatnot, and they're like a staple of the game now.
They're adding like items you can find on the map in League of Legends. I don't know if you saw that.
No, that sounds dumb.
People are writing.
I mean, but there's items in Dota, like the you bottle runes and things like that. I guess there's runes in League as well. I feel like there has been. I've seen
runes different to what they are in Dota, but yeah.
Anyway, I mean, it just keeps the game fresh.
Yeah.
There's
got to, you got to...
As opposed to being like, we're going to change the damage on this gun and the bullet velocity and the recoil.
Yeah. You got to play on Sandhawk now.
Maybe limit the amount of grenades you can have. There seems to be a lot of grenades going in these games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, tons of grenades. I don't know, what do you do? Like, limit them to 2 or 3? 2 for each
just make
category.
Them way more, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Make a grenade way more, and then...
But then you're a grenade guide, so Joab can no longer hit his shots, so he's just carrying grenades, and that's all he's carrying. No guns.
If it gets me to the fucking World Championships, so I can't fucking complain. I'm good at throwing grenades in PUBG. I'd be the fucking Steph Curry of this shit. Everybody like nobody uses grenades anymore. They're too heavy.
Kobe's.
And I just start fucking swishing, fucking popping fucking non-stop grenades. I don't carry any guns because it weighs me down. I'm just fucking pinging grenades all over the fucking place. Sometimes a molly just to fuck people up, throw them off. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about me. I'll get there. We're at a great danger of going extremely long.
Are we?
Yeah.
Hour and 15. This is easy.
Easy. Let's talk
Only got a
about
couple
Underlords. All what I'm saying is, let's stop talking about fucking PUBG
and Apex.
And talk about Underlords.
Yeah, been playing a bunch of Underlords still.
You're actually really good at Underlords. I don't mean
not.
say it with like so much surprise in my voice, but you're actually quite good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were playing last night. You won a game against boss level players.
I did, yeah. After you guys left, it was me and JB and Squirrel didn't reply.
Yeah.
So we kicked him out of the team.
Sure.
And JB and I match made and got in a fucking match made against the entire team on like 6 other big boss players, including JB, who was also a big boss. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in Smuggler.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Elo Hell and can't get out of there.
Yep.
Due to everybody in that rank using fucking builds on Reddit.
Yep.
That I can't beat because that's not the way I play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we jumped into Big Boss, and I'm just gonna play the way I normally play.
Yeah.
And I didn't destroy, but I think I won by like 40 life or something like that. I don't know.
That's pretty destructive.
Yeah. I think JB and I were top 3.
Yeah, nice. You built an invincible Pudge at one point in one of the games
we were playing.
Yeah, when I was spectating still. Yeah. Pudge has too much health, eh? Pudge has too much health.
No, it's because what I had on him.
No, what did you have on him? A fucking.
It might have been Blade Mail or Health Regen, one of those two. I can't remember.
Pretty sure you had Blade Mail, and that doesn't add any armor. Like, it's literally just reflect damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't remove damage.
No.
Like, you still cop the same amount of damage. He's got 5,500 health at 3 stars. And you compare that to Axe, who's literally only useful as a tank.
Yeah.
Can't get kills even at 3 stars. And Pudge has literally double the health that Axe
I think it also helped because I was running Warriors.
Yeah.
So I had like bonus 15 armor or something like that.
Yeah.
Because someone else had a Pudge later on that we played against. I think it was Gavin. And I just melted his Pudges.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely.
But this Pudge was disgusting.
It was. He
had so many kills.
The amount of times when he was literally the last one left against like 5 people, and he just like wander around and fucking hit them, and then like hook some like healer, and then just like squishy them down, and you're like, why didn't he fucking open like this? But like by the time he got to the point where there's only a Pudge left, everyone on their team had taken enough damage that he could just sort of like 2-hit them.
Yeah.
It was like when you killed you killed Potato before you killed Tomato, and you're like, well,
this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just get RNG fucked in that game so often. So often. I don't know how to manage my RNG around that. Like there's definitely a point in every game where I feel like I can't, like it's way too late to pivot away from what I'm doing. I'm not forcing, right? Like I'm not forcing anything in particular, except for the lols. But like I've definitely come too far. Like last night we were that second game we played like 5 of us and no AI.
Yeah.
And like 3 of us went fucking brawnies from the get-go. And I should have pivoted away from brawnies immediately, but we have a rule that nobody's allowed to go knights, and the only other thing I was getting served up was knights. So I'm like, well, I may as well just keep going fucking brawnies.
I think I went brawnies after you. I think I went brawnies at like level 8 or something like that. Really late, because the thing I was going just wasn't going to work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, brawnies was rough for me as well. I didn't get a fucking... I think it was like round 20 before I got a fucking 2-star Beastmaster or some shit.
Oh, was it an axe?
No, I got an axe really early.
All right.
Axe was getting all my kills. Axe was fucking...
That's what you don't want.
Buffed up. No, it wasn't ideal, but like...
I mean, it's good for him to tank, but he's not doing any damage.
And even like with him, I think he had like 40 kills, and he still didn't have... And I had 4 fucking brawnies, and it still wasn't...
Yeah.
It still didn't rival Pudge. Like... That's ludicrous.
I mean, he'd be good. You get him buffed up and chuck a blade mail on him.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter if he can do damage or not because everyone else is
reflecting a bunch of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, fair enough. And you just look at the bar graph and it'll be like, there's the blade mail.
Yeah.
It's doing its work.
Yeah. But yeah, like by the end of that game that we were playing, so I went out second, I think. I was literally just praying for. I had 3-star axe, 3-star spin to win Juggernaut, and 3-star tiny. I had a good team comp. Like it made sense. I could have used an Enigma pretty much for that Warlock Primordial synergy to go with the tiny. But otherwise, yeah, I think it was like 3 warriors, 3 hunters, including a Medusa, an early Medusa, and I had like two warlocks with my. Who's that green dude? Green warlock dude.
Green warlock.
Yeah, green and pink.
Necro. He heals?
Yes. But I had that fucking all healings cut down. That's just why I didn't want him, but he does a lot of damage as well.
And a lot of heals, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know what I was supposed to do. I was literally just waiting on the last pieces of my fucking other, like I had 2 Tidehunters, but I couldn't find the third Tidehunter to get to 2-star. 2 Necros, but I couldn't find the third fucking Necro. 2 2-star fucking Beastmasters and another Beastmaster, but I couldn't find the other Beastmasters. And I literally just spent like, at some point I'm just like, well, like, what are my options here? I've got to find one of these pieces because I can't pivot in any direction apart from miraculously finding an Enigma. So I've either got to roll for an Enigma or a roll for the last Necrophos or the last Tidehunter or the last 2 fucking Beastmasters. I just got to roll, right? Like, because I was losing too fast to be able to like just level up and power through. What the fuck are my options, right? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what to do at that point. Like, do I just fucking roll and see what happens? I think that's the right play, right? Like, you are supposed to just try to roll your way to something better. I was at like level 8, so the chance of me getting a fucking Enigma was pretty fucking slim. Yeah. So I spent 30 fucking gold. I didn't get a single one of those pieces at all. And then I lost. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the point where I'm getting to now is I'm starting to understand the tier system a bit more and when I should be rolling as opposed to leveling.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm like, well, I want to get this 3-star level 1 bat ride or something like that. Like, understanding that it's not worth me leveling up. Like, it's better for me to just roll and get that, because if I level up, then I'm probably not going to...
Lowering your chances of seeing the
chance of getting
on golds, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the point where I'm at now, is like trying to figure out when I should be swapping shit out and like when I'm going for something else. And my biggest issue is that I like playing different builds.
Yeah,
like, I'll just jump to a game and just grab a bunch of random heroes. Maybe that's why I'm so fucking low in Smuggler and can't get out of it. But I just like playing random stuff. Like the big boss build that I was playing last night was just fucking like 6 different synergies.
Yeah,
it wasn't like I'm going all trolls and then we'll see what happens, which is what I see a lot of in like the games that I play. Like,
yeah, me too.
Everyone's playing like there's 4 guys playing troll knights.
People just force troll knights or 9 elusives or
elusives,
assassins.
Everyone's going 9 assassins, and I'm just like, man, that's just so boring to me. I don't want to play it that way. I like just figuring things out and being like, what'll combine with this other person. It's just not my style of play. It's just like doing that every game must get so fucking boring to play.
Yeah.
Which is, I was talking to Jung about it the other day. because Jung's a big boss addict as well.
Yeah.
And I could probably, like, if I just sat on, he sent me a Reddit or a video or something that was linked on Reddit about, like, this is the current meta for the last week, like, this is what you should play, and I'm like, that's not fun.
No.
Like, if this is what I should be playing,
yeah, I don't want to play it.
In order to level up, then that's not cool. Like, I want to be able to just, like, that's what's so cool about watching Dota 2, is that there's 130 different heroes, and you can only pick 5 of them. And it's, how do we win with these 5? And, you know, the other team has a chance of banning them, and that's why you see all these awesome combinations. Obviously, there are, you know, high-tier heroes that you kind of want to play that eventually throughout a tournament or a meta people figure out, but then on the odd occasion things come out and people try different, you know, through that tournament, different styles of play, and it's about like figuring out what that is. And because there is such a deep breadth of characters you can pick from, there's stuff you don't see before, you haven't seen. But yeah, I mean, we say this every week, but if they get to the point where they can release new heroes, then that will sort of
dramatically alleviate the problem.
Yeah, and to the point where you are playing it more like a game of poker, where you're trying to figure out the best way to work this sort of synergy of characters that you've got, and whether you should swap something out, as opposed to just being like, well, I can easily build 4 or 5 of this character, and then get to, you know, the max.
Playing with the cards you're dealt, as opposed to just fucking drawing new ones until you
get them all that you
get
want.
Your fucking 5 of a kind.
Yeah, like, I've got my 6 assassins, so I'm good now.
Yeah,
we're good to go because I've re-rolled. I mean, occasionally you're obviously gonna get fucked by RNG, but you can, at that stage, the chances are so high that you can just manage it most of the games.
Yeah,
and to me, that's just not fun. Like, playing the same thing over and over again, it's just too repetitive.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just straight up not what I've generally found fun in auto chess as a genre.
Yeah.
You know, it's counter to what I found fun in auto chess when I originally started playing it. And yeah, it's just...
That's why I like wacky rules. No knights.
No knights.
When we play a game. Yep. Maybe we can change it sometimes. No, I don't know. No assassins or no trolls.
Have you seen those, like, people have those fucking grids where they
were doing that last night. There was one dude I kept playing against where his positioning was like all over. Like, I usually just fucking dump him in a corner, or like, you know, I'll have my warriors up the front, my damage towards the back, and I'll shift them to one side of the board depending on, like, who I'm fighting against. Like, if I need to be up close because I'm up against warriors, and they'll be out there, or if I'm playing against mages, then I position them on this side. But these guys are like individual squares, and I'm just destroying them every time. I'm like, whatever you're doing is not working, dude. Just give up. There were some games later on where I was getting in trouble by a mage composition.
Oh yeah.
So all I did was just split them up, like moved a couple to the right.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything because they, you know, all my guys weren't sitting in one area.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of stuff I can understand, but it's the bits and pieces where it's like weird characters in certain spots that I haven't looked into at all because I'm not at that nerdiness of the game yet. And I don't see any of that stuff in my level, at least.
No. It's not what I was talking about, though.
I was talking about
those. I know what you were talking about. The weird,
like, grid positioning of the characters.
Weird positioning. Yeah, it is odd. I've definitely seen a bunch of it. It's never worked, as far as I could tell. I've never seen it work, but I've definitely seen it happen. No, I was talking about those grids that people have for, like, PUBG, where they roll a dice and it tells them where they're landing. Maybe we could make a grid for Underlords. Yeah. And we roll a dice and it tells us what you're not allowed to fucking build towards in a game.
Right.
No elusives, no assassins. And it'd be like an interesting meta game because you'd be able to, like, well, there's no assassins, so welcome to fucking Mage Town, cunts.
Or troll knights every game.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Except for when it's not.
You should. Yeah, we'll just have, like, it'll be a grid of 9, and 4 of the squares will have no fucking troll knights. No troll knights, and then 1 square will be no dragon knights, and then Yeah, the other four squares can be whatever you want. I don't care. Like, um, yeah.
Yeah, which is there was one team in our group which was JB who went trolls. Sorry, who went knights. Who actually played knights.
Yeah.
I had 2 knights, which was from just a random composition I had.
Yeah.
Because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 synergies by the end.
Nice.
And 2 points in knights, but that's a weird game for me because usually there's like 3 teams with full knights on them.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. Anyway, I'm just JB sent us a link to they're changing the way matchmaking works.
Yeah.
In group competition. So if I was to play with Big Boss or higher ranked players and I beat them, then I get more MMR, like a better ELO system.
Yeah.
Which is good because I think I got less points because I was playing with a team. He said I should have got 150. I got 115.
Oh. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I do think it reduces the amount of points you get.
Yeah. So I beat all these guys and
it was worth nothing.
So I didn't get nothing.
Worth nothing. Oh.
Yeah.
Good times. They desperately need new heroes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it every week until they fucking add new heroes.
Yeah, and you know what they'll do? They'll add like 2.
Yeah, and then I'll continue to say it every fucking week.
They'll take out like Enchantress and you're like, fuck yeah. Because she's useless. All right, just quickly, I've been playing a little bit of Alan Wake, gearing up for Control. It's coming out really soon.
Right.
It just kind of reminded me because it was free on the Epic Store recently. I already had a copy on Steam, but I just wanted to jump in and check it out. That game's still really good. Sorry?
Wanted something free, eh?
Yeah, but I already had it, so I just figured I'd install it and have a look. So it's still really good. The story, like the writing, is well done, and just the like the presentation of it. You can it's a 7-year-old game, something like that.
Yeah.
And just the way that it's sort of presented in the TV like serial type storytelling.
Yeah.
No one does that, except for like I guess maybe your Telltale stuff. When they were doing that, I never really played a lot of that, but
even like Hitman, when it was episodic, didn't play to the episode style. Every game wants to be fucking blockbuster cinema, but the landscape of how we ingest entertainment has changed, and I think the episodic TV style is a really interesting way to approach it, as long as you don't release it episodically, or else I won't fucking touch it until it's all out.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't watch TV anymore until it's all out. I only just started Barry because it's finally fucking all out, and there are only a few things that exist now where you have to fucking watch it when the episode comes out. And it's mostly just to avoid dickholes spoiling shit for you on Facebook. And now that Game of Thrones is over, it's all done. It's over. I don't need to fucking watch anything on time anymore. I think that's a really good point. I'd love to see more games experiment with that style, because it is literally an entertainment format. It's a way we ingest entertainment. So I don't see why you wouldn't. It's weird that a game about a dude who writes books would use that style.
But it always, every time they do it, it's sort of on this, cliffhanger or, a pivotal part of the story. And they kind of end it on that, and they bang out with the song that starts up, and then the logo comes in as well. And then, you start the next chapter of the game or the next episode, and it's, previously on Alan Wake, and it, recaps what's happened. That stuff's really cool, because you're like, oh, yeah, that happened, and this is sort of leading up to this bit, and this bit's important here. It's an interesting tone to sort of approach a game that way, and I think they tried to do it with Quantum Break, but it didn't work.
I never played it
because they ended up with literally a 30-minute cutscene at the end of each episode.
Oh, really? Yeah, I got no time for that.
That you would watch it wasn't a cutscene; it was an actual a film.
TV show.
Yeah. So anyway, I like the presentation is done really well. The tutorial at the start of the game does not hold up. It's presented really weirdly. It's kind of like a dream sequence that sort of explains like you need to use the flashlight to get rid of the darkness, and then you can shoot them with a revolver and whatnot. And then the game sort of starts where you're on the boat with your wife, and it really slows down into like this, going to the diner and finding the keys to the lake house, and like that felt like it should have been the start of the game, and then really ramp up from there, as opposed to this like dream sequence where it teaches you how to play the game. Don't think that. And it might have been a criticism back when I first played it, but I don't think that is done very well. But otherwise, yeah, I like, obviously some of the mechanics are old-ish, but I'm still like digging playing it. I'm enjoying like all the narrative stuff that's in there. It's can be quite challenging at some parts in terms of the combat and whatnot, trying to figure out what you should run away against or run away from, and what you should engage. And just like the story beats, like remembering pivotal moments, or like there's going to be an enemy inside this bathroom. Like, I remember this part. It like jumps out at the door when you do the thing and then come back. It's just got some really memorable moments in that game that stand out. So I'm really looking forward to Control. I've heard some good things about it. There was a session last week, I believe, preview session. I was not around, so I didn't go check it out. But I saw a bunch of articles that go up, and people are pretty pumped about the game. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Cool. I'm definitely keen to play that one.
Nice.
What else we got here?
Let's do Hunt Showdown.
All right. We talked about this a while back.
Ages ago. We talked about this ages ago. But it's coming back into the fore because it's about to release quite soon.
And they added a new mode.
They did, but we didn't get to play it. So this is the... Does it say when it's out? August 27. So this is the horror-based first-person shooter bounty hunting game.
Yeah, like a Western aesthetic to it, but not.
Yeah, like hillbilly swamp people.
Yeah. Do they do good swamps?
I guess. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was actually fascinated by the setting for a long time, because I think it's a really, that American folklore style of the Depression era drifters. I think it's inherently romantic or romanticized. So there's a lot of appeal to the idea of just picking up sticks and fucking putting everything in a bindle on a stick and going for a fucking walk. But yeah, this is a very gritty, ugly version of that sort of concepts. There's
where shit's like run down, and
everything's sort of broken down and wrecked, and nothing really works the way it should. And also there's fucking monsters everywhere. So we jump back into it. It's way more complex now than it used to be, but it's also a lot easier, which is weird. It's more complex because there's a lot more special enemies where you've got to really know what you're doing to take them down. Sure. So you can't just sort of, it used to be just a lot of fucking these basic zombie type enemies that you could just walk up to and fucking cleave in the head once or twice and they go down and you move on. Now,
because like a lot of the weapons are very one shot, reload, shotgun, two shells, reload type.
Yeah, exactly.
Type stuff.
And so you'd be very capable of taking down some of these simpler enemies, but now there's a lot more complexity because there's a lot of more challenging enemies, and there's a lot more of those special enemies as well. So there's the armored dudes and the big fat guys and the bee lady and the dogs and all that kind of stuff. Sure. Fire guys, and there's stacks of them. Like, you can't just rely on just sort of busting through a fucking area anymore. If you don't know what the hunt is, I didn't explain it fully. The idea is you are a hillbilly bounty hunter. You go into a fucking swamp and you go kill a bounty, some sort of giant monster, and then you have to escape. The trick is that there's theoretically a bunch of other players running around in the swamp with you, and they're going for the same bounty at the same time, and only one of you can get out with the bounty. So it's a zero-sum game. Someone has to lose if you intend to win. And so it's sort of an interesting PvE, PvP experience where there's a lot of tension and you're constantly afraid of what's around the next corner because there's a chance that if it's another player, they might, just shoot you and take what's yours. And there's also an element, an added layer of permadeath, where you lose the character that you've built if they die. They've changed that a little bit. You don't have permadeath. You don't lose the characters that die until you're rank 16.
Buy insurance.
You do not have to buy insurance. You don't lose your characters until rank 16 now. You don't gain ranks all that fast. It's sort of you get I'd say probably 20 games to learn how things work without having to risk your characters. You can build them up into something. So it gives you an opportunity to actually learn how the character per character progression system works and all that kind of stuff. The other thing that is going on is it'll put you in a game even if there's nobody else.
Right. Which
is dumb. You don't know that there's nobody else, but you can make an educated guess. If it says waiting for play, if you load in and it says waiting for players, and then it stops waiting for players the moment the other person on your team loads in, maybe the other people playing also have great computers. That's not how it works in literally any other fucking game. Where Rainbow Six, you'll have someone playing fucking Rainbow Six and trying to load it on their fucking potato machine for 40 fucking minutes. But maybe only really high quality computer owning people play the hunt, or more likely you're in the game alone and you can do whatever the fuck you want. So from that perspective, it's a lot easier. I mean, I feel very confident. As soon as I've determined there's nobody else in the game, I always feel very confident about how I'm going to go about it. It doesn't really the AI is not challenging enough to really make it that big a deal. Even you can exploit the fuck out of the boss. I just opened.
They're still on paths and shit like that.
Yeah, they still move on paths, and you can just sort of stand outside at the door to the boss room, shoot it, and then stand behind the fucking door and wait for it to move on. Stuff like that. It's not a big a deal. Which is a bit of a bummer. On the flip side, it still feels like it looks gorgeous. It runs so much better. Holy shit! It used to barely get 30 frames when we first started playing it, but now I think it was 80 frames, and I believe that they're further optimizing it for release, so it should be around 90 to 100 by the time it actually launches. And that's on my 1070 and stuff on a 4K screen, so it's probably even better for other people. I'll just lower it to 60 and G-Sync myself to 60 probably. If I continue to play it, is the thing. I definitely want to play it more. I'd love to play it with, people, knowing now that we're not risking any characters. I'd love to play it with the way we play PUBG when we've got more than 4 people, where we all jump into a server at the same time.
Just not tell anyone. Yeah.
And just sort of go our separate ways. And
we were playing it that way when it first went into open beta or something like that.
Yeah.
When it was 2v teams of 2, like duos.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if did they have ID tags at the bottom of the like the list to tell you what your server you're in, or
No, I
I
don't think
can't
so.
remember
No, I
how we were doing it.
think we just roll on the dice.
Yeah, by the map.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's a fun way to play it. Like just sort of co-competitive, to borrow a word from another game. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's basically the only way I see myself playing it though, because if nobody else is playing it in our region, then there doesn't seem to be much point.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's coming out in 2 weeks, so maybe
There'll be a strong uptick in
yeah,
playtime. Yeah.
people jumping in. Have they added more objectives into the game? Because when we were playing, it was really finding clues to find the contract, the big contract.
Yeah,
like, is
that's
there
still
anything
what you
else that's around?
Oh.
Because I think the other bits were like the little ads that were sort of roaming around, like the other enemies, the monsters. There were sometimes higher level monsters that you can sort of kill that get you more points.
Those are the specials. You see, like there are a lot of those, and you do still get points for killing them. But most of the time, unless you're certain you can take them down really quick, it's you're better off just sort of avoiding them because you don't have.
Right.
It's still a resource management game, right? So I think you can only. I had a shotgun and I could only carry fucking 12 shells for the fucking thing. I need 12 shells to kill the fucking last boss. So, well, I need more than 12 shells. I need fucking all my shotgun ammo and all my pistol ammo to kill the boss. So, yeah, like, there are, I think there are insta-kill ways for all of them, but, like...
You gotta try and figure them out.
Yeah, you gotta know them, which is part of the learning experience and stuff like that. Yeah.
What about the problems we were having when we were playing it was nobody wanted to do the objective. They would just sit outside the room and wait for someone else to do it and then kill them.
They did something to fix that, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, that's right. Now when you kill the boss, you get this enhanced sight. So the sight that you use to see clues comes enhanced, and now enemy players will glow in orange. You've only got it for 10 seconds though.
Right.
So you can see enemy players who are hiding nearby and stuff as you try to exit, and you can see them, I think, quite expertly, but you can only see that for 10 seconds. So if there's
they
only...
flipped it.
Yeah, but like it's...
Because that used to be the other way around. When
that still happens.
The enemies can still see you.
Yes, they can still see the lightning strikes where the bounty is. But yeah, at the same time, you can see them briefly now. So people can't just like camp a fucking corner because they'll just sort of be seen. They're glowing in orange. I think it's a halfway decent solution.
Sure.
They can't do it too much. Like can't do too much with it because it is how the game is supposed to work, I guess. But yeah, I think you get way more XP for actually like there's like a combo system now as well. Like you get a certain amount of XP for getting one clue. But if you get all 3 clues, you get a bonus. And if you get all 3 clues and kill the boss monster or find the boss monster, you get a bonus. And a bonus for killing it, and a bonus for getting the bounty. And a bonus for both of you getting the bounty as well. So like you're heavily incentivized to do all of the steps yourself through XP. But if you don't really give a fuck about that and you just want to fucking steal some shit, then you can just find the fucking boss room and just fucking take it.
Enough.
Yeah.
Does it drop you ammo as well, the boss?
No, but there's heaps.
That was the other problem. Is like you'd finish that fight, have no ammo.
Yeah, there was a heap of ammo crates in the boss room, and it heals you back to full health when you pick up the bounty.
That's good.
That was the bigger one. But yeah.
All right, that sounds a lot better than what we played.
Yeah, they've definitely made a lot of improvements. I don't know if it's enough, but yeah, it's good fun.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Space games.
Space games. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is the first game that I have gotten a refund for on the Epic Games Store. And when I say gotten a refund for, I mean submitted to get a refund for. I haven't yet gotten the refund. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's bad. It's certainly not for me. I don't understand how it's getting the reviews it's getting. It is a space game being hailed as the successor to Freelancer and all that kind of stuff.
It's a high benchmark.
It is a very high benchmark for a lot of people. Yeah. It is... I don't know. It's odd. It's a complex space game with, I believe it was described as World War II physics, dogfighting, and it has literally no tutorial. It has a lengthy opening cutscene that details some sort of story to you about a guy who you fight in a bar. I didn't notice it saying why. And then after that, it dramatically changes art styles to something like 3D rendered from a hilariously animated cutscene. It changes to 3D rendered models who talk. The cutscene doesn't have any talking. Anyway, yeah, it's just like it's a really, really bad first impression. For the first things first. Yeah, terrible first impression, and then like it just dumps you on this station, and you get given a ship. You talk to some dude, some fucking like Jabba the Hutt motherfucker that you called up on an ATM or something, and then like you fucking get given a ship because of some backstory that they don't decide to fucking detail. And then it's like, well, that's it. You know what to do, except you absolutely don't know what to do. You have no fucking idea what to do. Yeah, it's just sort of, you're on this station, and to go to the next area, you sort of click on areas. You can click on the ship person, the weapons outfitters, the commodities store, the bar, and then each time, like each place you click on, it's like, this is pretty traditional fucking space type stuff. Yeah, and like I don't have a fucking problem with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do to get this quest. You basically just have to work out that you're supposed to get into your ship and then get out into space and then aim at the quest marker. It may have very briefly. It seemed to me like the text that was flashing up to tell me shit was there for like fucking 2 seconds, but I'm in space, like looking at shit, and I'll be like, something flashes up, and it'll be like, press something to do something, and I'm like, press what to, and it's gone. I'm like, what did that say? Did it say press C to do something? No, press C. No. Did it? Control me.
Torpedoes launched.
Yeah, well, fuck. The amount of times, like the amount of times, tab is fucking boost.
Yeah.
And shift is torpedoes launched. And the amount of times I have fucking torpedoes launched at cunts by accident, trying to just shift forward a little bit faster. Holy shit. That's actually what got me to quit. Because I launched...
You blew up a school bus full of a space bus full of children.
Bloody space buses. But basically, yeah. No, I started a fight with the cops. Trying to... I couldn't fucking autopilot to my next location until I like got past this dude. So I fucking hit shift while I'm looking just away from him. But I like... my fucking missile like locked onto the dude and fucking... And he was the space cops, and I was in the equivalent of a fucking combi fan with rockets attached to it. So yeah, I got blown up, and I'm like, well, that's it. Doesn't have like a quick save or anything. yeah, I just had to fucking work out how to like change objectives, how to do anything. You hold control, and it's got this fucking wheel, and you've got like a broader starfield map, but you've also got like a local area map, and you just sort of got to fucking work out what to do from there, and then you sort of follow your way to the first quest. I quit after the first quest, by the way. I quit and requested a refund. Got to the first quest, and I'm supposed to be getting these codes, and this bar comes up, and he's like, "I just need to wait for this to get to 100%, and then we'll have the codes. Don't worry, these guns won't shoot at you." And then, God, it's Space Western, by the way. So everyone, that's the theme, I guess. Everyone talks like this, and yeah, fucking. Of course, the guns start shooting at me, and he's like, "Well, just dodge them, and you'll be okay." And I'm like dodging these fucking things, and then someone flies in, like another thing starts shooting at me, and the chick who's piloting starts chattering about, "Oh, there's another bogey." I'm looking at my fucking screen, and I cannot work out where the fuck the bogeys are. I'm doing this mission, like I'm here trying to steal these codes for this dude who is theoretically like the owner, like he's stealing these codes from his brother. So I'm like, well, I assume he, like, seeing how he told me to dodge the gunfire first of all, I assume he doesn't want me to just fucking blow up these guns, so I'll just continue to dodge. And then this other thing flies in, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that must be a mercenary. Well, I guess you should just take care of it." And I'm like, how the fuck am I, like, there's 16 fucking things shooting fucking lasers at me. Which fucking one do I fucking shoot at? And I had to work out how to go to the fucking tactical map, and then I could fucking work out which thing was the fucking mercenary in question out of these 16 fucking identical little fucking dots on a 3D fucking space map. I'm like, there it is, lock onto target, and then I fucking finally find the fucking dude, and I shoot him, and then I'm like, oh, and he finishes getting the codes, and I'm like, I hated that. I hated every part of that. Like, that was not an enjoyable fucking experience. There's so much visual noise on the screen at any one time that I can never work out what the fuck, like, determine what the fuck I'm supposed to be aiming at. Or it's like, there's no fucking reasonable fucking indicators. You'd think that having mastered space travel, there'd be some sort of fucking like basic IFF system that might at least tell you the difference between a fucking stationary gun and a fucking mercenary, but there isn't. I didn't even come close to dying, which was probably the worst thing. Like, I never felt like I was in danger. I just felt annoyed. I just felt like frustrated at not being able to work out what the fuck I was supposed to be doing next. And so I'm just like, you know what? I hate this. I just hate what I'm doing here. I've got no interest in it. I don't like the storytelling. Hasn't really intrigued me at this point. It's been fucking all over the place. Fuck it. I'm quitting. And so I quit, and I've installed it and requested a refund, and I haven't got the refund yet. But I didn't play more than 2 hours, so I should get a fucking refund. I better get a fucking refund.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of, like, I'm still hanging out for, obviously, Star Citizen, if that ever comes out. Sure. But we jumped on a Elite Dangerous for a while there, and I was enjoying that. But I'm pretty sure that tutorial was like they would have hot elements on the screen that, like, weren't there, and he'd kind of take you through all the basic. Like, they had some tutorials where it was like, all right, you got to do 20 tutorials before you learn how to go on a mission. Like, here's how you land, and here's how you do the flying and shooting and transporting goods, and because that game is just so
there's a lot. There's a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
And even Objects in Space had a lot more tutorializing. They really took you through a bunch of what you had to do. There was some stuff that they probably shouldn't have left out, but like, there was like, that sort of was part of the complexity of the game itself. This has nothing except for a couple of fucking things that pop up, like, for moments, bare moments, and it's inexplicable. I just Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Elite Dangerous, you could always tell what was going on. There was none of the visual noise that I felt was occurring in, like, there was a lot happening on a screen at any one time. Sometimes like fucking shit tons. I remember doing some fucking asteroid fields with Fjaren, and there would be like literally uh scores of craft flying in this sector, like dozens and
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of ships, plus asteroids, plus all this other shit. And it wouldn't be a problem. Like, you wouldn't have any issues working out what the fuck you were looking for or looking at. You could very quickly identify like enemies and friendlies. You could very quickly identify like what ships were what was going on the screen, what was going on off screen. Like, yeah, the amount of immediate information you're able to acquire in Elite Dangerous compared to this is staggering. And obviously, I didn't give it a huge chance, having theoretically not played more than 2 hours. But, like, first impressions count a fucking ton. And, yeah, like, if I'm never ever going to play this game again, and I know I'm not, then yeah, I don't think I need to. I'm not fucking reviewing it. I don't think I need to power through it. If they didn't even like give me the fucking benefit of a fucking tutorial, I don't know how much benefit of the doubt I owe them as a player, right? Like, Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disappointing. I'm still hanging out for Star Citizen to come out if
It's
it
never gonna
comes
happen.
out.
Let it go.
Because I've got my stupid. You can't see it from here. Oh, yeah, you can. It's sort of on one of the shelves there. My dumb like flight simulator sticks and
Yeah.
throttles that I had fun using them in.
You can always
it was
crack out Elite
Dangerous,
again.
right?
I'd play Elite again, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never played it in VR. I've always wanted to try it. Apparently, it's fucking insane.
You want to double check those screws are attached to your seat properly.
I did, yeah. That would be pretty dangerous. But yeah, I remember like for Elite, I had like fucking. Do you remember I had like a keyboard, controller, and I had voice commands because there were so many fucking things that you need to have.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because you'd be saying things all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is he doing?
Yeah,
I don't think now is the time to play Elite Dangerous. Like June, July would have been a good time.
that is a very good
We're
point.
in August now. It's just
Yeah.
dumb time to start playing
Well,
the
it's
Space Sim.
well, it's September, so time to start playing my favorite space sim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of space sims, though, No Man's Sky, big update. You gonna check it out or what?
No.
I reinstalled it.
Oh, you idiot.
I can't help myself.
You can't help. Fool me 4 times.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
I've got 11 hours in that game.
11?
11, yeah.
Wow. I feel like I've got a lot more than 11. Is it on Steam? Where did we play
Yeah,
it?
I've got 11 hours on Steam. I am pretty sure I played it on PS4 originally, and 11 hours is when they did their first big update that I checked out.
I don't even know what I've got it installed on. What did it come out on?
PC and PS4, right?
Did I play it on? I'm pretty sure I played it on PC.
I'm 99% certain the first time I played it was on PS4
I must have had it on.
because I was playing with my
Games or something
brothers.
like that. Must be on GOG.
Right.
Because it ain't on Steam for me.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw this update. I didn't know what was going on in the video that I watched. It just looked like a dude built a city.
Yeah, I was pretty confused by that too.
And I was like, but did they make a game yet? Like, is there a game? Because last time I jumped in, everyone was raving about it. And I was like, it's still, like, I'm still sitting here fucking farming crystals.
Look, just fucking.
And I'm also
What's
dying
wrong?
from radiation.
Why do you hate farming in games? That's what I don't get. You hate Minecraft? You don't hate Minecraft.
I don't hate Minecraft. I just don't understand why I'm on a radiation planet
Just
and I can't build a radiation suit because I gotta farm all these crystals.
because you rolled fucking natty ones in the game of life. That's why you're on a radiation planet. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, you can tell us about that next week.
I can. It's not like we've got much to talk about next week.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
Speaking of this week.
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3.
Yeah, we obviously did the LA preview trip. We got to play about, what, an hour or two?
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah. We got to check out Borderlands 3 a bit more last week. We played about 5 hours each.
Yeah.
So a big chunk. Basically from the start of the game up until, decent chunk in.
A fair way in, yeah.
Yeah, and then they basically loaded up a second save game for us, which was sort of end game, 25 levels in. It's like, hey, now check out this skill tree.
Mid game at most, but just clarifying.
Yeah, there was still in terms of leveling, there was a lot of points in there. I think it was 20 or something.
Yeah, we were level 22, so level 22, so we had 20 points to distribute.
Yeah,
21 points to distribute, I think. Yeah. We're definitely way further in. I'm just clarifying. You said end game. I'm just trying to clarify. We were only mid game.
Mid to end.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got to try out some higher level characters. I think I got to a level 8 or 9, as in the first session.
Yeah, I passed you. It was disgusting.
That wasn't disgusting. I was experimenting. I was exploring and stuff. My thought was, I'll get this out of the way now, so that when I come back later, I'll know everything. When I come to play it for my first time through, I'll know what to do. I'll just fucking power through. And I learned some good shit. I learned you can knock out most of the fucking side missions while on your main quest, which I had apparently forgotten. But as soon as I did it, I'm like, fuck, why didn't I do that? Why was I doing it any other way? Because I was knocking out a side mission, and then I'm like, better go do the fucking main quest, and it takes me literally the path. And I took the side mission. I'm like, I'm such a fucking dummy. Oh god. Learned that optional side quests are definitely worth doing, and generally pretty easy to accomplish. In most cases, I don't know. I learned some stuff. Learned some good stuff.
On that note, talking about missions and the way they're structured, some good quality of life changes there. Being able to just press a button while you're in the game and change missions.
So good. So basically, you can press directional left or right. We're playing on controller, despite our protests. We're playing on controller. You press left and right on the directional pad, and you'll change to your next quest. So you might have your main quest up, and the minimap will show the location of the main quest. But if you press right, it'll take you to the next mini side quest, and it'll have the minimap now be displaying the locations, the objectives of that instead, which is fucking brilliant, fantastic. It's so good.
So in saying that, I couldn't figure out if this was working or how to do it. But when you go to the larger map, in your inventory, I couldn't find a way to quickly switch between missions.
That's true. Yeah. I could.
So what I would have liked to have seen on that map was all of the missions in that location, and then you'd be able to move your cursor over the mission and see what it is, and see if it's attached to, I don't know, 3 other quests that are on there. Because sometimes you'll be on a quest and it's a fetch quest. It's go to 3 locations and kill these things or collect these things. And so being able to see if they're joined together, maybe just highlight them all, or just an overlay of the map to be all right, these are where my missions are. Should I be? There's a bunch over this side. I'm gonna go that way first and do them. It was kind of hard to get a grasp of where all these missions were, because the way I needed to go do it from, maybe I was doing something wrong, but the way I was doing it was going back to the mission select page, clicking on one, and then going back to the map and being all right, where's that one? And then going So the next page again, choosing the next mission, and going back and being like, all right, like where are all these like missions? It wasn't an overview of being like, this is where they are. That was my one complaint about
that's
that
a really good point.
quality of life thing. Being able to quickly switch while you were playing was good.
Yeah.
Because that was, you know, an annoying thing back in the old game. You'd have to go back in that menu and change it and come back. I still would like, you know, the WoW thing where it's like being able to put a list there and, you know, maybe select ones that you want to have in the list.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can only select 4 or 5 at a time for them to display.
I never felt like there were been that many quests in Borderlands for it to warrant that necessarily.
But I think at that stage maybe we can't.
Luke's time.
Sorry. Maybe it becomes more of like a shopping list.
Right.
And then it starts to turn it from a video game to a chore.
Yeah, true.
Maybe they're trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What else was there? Quality of life mantling is still awesome. I've noticed that they've done a lot to sort of allow you to move to the farthest reaches of the map. I encountered a couple of invisible walls, but largely there are very natural cutoff points to stop you from exiting the bounds of the map, which is good.
They still got those turrets.
And they got the turrets, yes.
Yeah. You're in the area you shouldn't be, and they'll shoot you. Which were in the last game.
Yeah.
Speaking of the maps, they're fucking huge. Like, they're so much bigger than the last game.
Yeah.
As someone who played Borderlands 2 again recently when we did the Commander Lilith update, these maps are enormous, and also like the verticality of them, and being able to look at that 3D map as well is massive because you can move it around and see like where you need to go and like the sort of the depth of it, where you know, the elevations are and where the tunnels kind of go. And then just the scale of it is from the 2 maps that we saw, the two locations. They were pretty big.
Yeah, like proper big. Like I almost wish you could summon a car big instead of having to go to a catch a ride big. Yeah. Because I lost a car while I was in the middle of space, and
you can quick travel to the car spaces at any time. There was a pop-up. Maybe you missed it while you were looking around.
Oh, here we go. No, I was looking for another car. I was trying to hijack a car I'd seen, and chased after it while out of my car because you can't hijack a car while in a car. And then by the time I'd gotten there, I got distracted and like hunted out some skags, and didn't want to abandon my hunt for this other car, but what are you into? Huge, and it just does make me think of summoning a mouse in World of Warcraft. How you can do it at any time, but
you can't summon a car at any time, but you can fast travel to specific points on the map, and I believe you can fast travel to your car. I thought I did that.
Oh, really?
Stage, and it was instantaneous. Like,
yeah, right. That's cool.
Just put me straight in there.
Nice.
Pretty sure I did that. Yeah.
Well, I definitely didn't try that. Apart from that, the boss fight, the music boss fight, I found really confusing, to be honest. That was
This is the one with the shield.
Yeah, this dude had a shield, and he was doing this is like a fucking drum and bass rave or some shit, and all of his attacks were based off the sound that was coming out. I never really fucking got a good grip on how to do that fucking fight, to be honest. But I still one-shot it. But it got pretty close a couple of times. I feel like it didn't really indicate very well what you were supposed to be doing. It was hype. It was very gung ho, but it just felt confusing. Feels like something that could probably illuminate a little bit better. Because yeah, I just had no fucking idea. I went back and looked at the video and I still didn't work it out. But it's got like
I was just hiding behind the pillars that are in the. There's like speakers set up through the entire arena.
Yeah.
And then when they light up,
Yep.
they blast you, and then you just hide behind the pillar, depending on which direction they're coming from.
Wasn't the ground exploding as well?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think he might have been doing an attack with his shield.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was doing
Remember
that.
that part.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember it getting hairy at the end there, especially being on a controller.
Yeah.
Like not, the first time you play the game, trying to get used to it and whatnot. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good though. The characters seem good. Like there's the fucking shirtless dude Vaughn, who I didn't like on the day, and then when I was watching the video back, grew on me immensely. Like just one of those characters who I think you'll love or hate depending on your mood. Sort of like Claptrap. Sometimes you hate him, sometimes you love him. Yeah. So yeah, good characters. The villains seem quite entertaining. Like I think they've always had pretty good villains. Obviously, the best is still General Knox, the best of all time. But Handsome Jack was quite good, and the twins seem like decent successes. I just had it was an eye-opening experience. Like the sheer size of it felt quite overwhelming at times. I thought, because it isn't just a big map in terms of like breadth and width, but the verticality and the fact that it keeps like a lot of it layers back on itself.
Yeah, like the Dark Souls thing.
Yeah, like there's a fucking lot to it. Yeah, these are some fucking complex maps, which is rad. Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a mission that we did that took you through an area that you would sort of loop around back on itself in, and I don't think you did this one, but you get back to it and then you can go through again a second time in like a VR sort of experience.
No, I was just about to do that.
Does it again?
Yeah.
And you're fighting different enemies and whatnot, so yeah, that stuff's interesting. That it can like, it's taking you back through those same areas, but it's sort of changing things up again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a thing that happens throughout the game, but yeah. Anyway,
so
just
an interesting aside.
Yeah, I mean the game sort of lives on its storytelling, right? And the way it delivers stories and characters, because at the end of the day, it's a loot shooter.
Yeah.
And you're going out and either killing things or finding things. It's not really changing up that formula too much, and so you're in it for the story and getting that loot chasing aspect, like getting better gear, and that's where they've really like done a great job, because there's cool guns in there that do things that the other games didn't do before. Being able to have weapons that multi elementals or operate in different ways that other guns do is really cool. Like I think at one stage you had a gun that was like bouncing around or something and sort of exploding.
It would bounce around, shooting, and then when it reached someone, it would explode on them, and then it would explode out into other little guns that did the same thing.
Did it get stuck on walls as well? Because I saw that at one stage.
I think it was just getting stuck. I think that was it. Just it getting stuck on shit.
Because I know at the preview, I had like the turret gun.
Yeah.
And you could mount it onto walls.
Yeah.
Or like, it'd get stuck on places.
Yeah, no, that's not what this was supposed to be doing.
Right.
That was my like only legendary, and I felt like I got a bit ripped off because it didn't like. It was definitely legendary in its form factor, in the sense that it was like above and beyond. It was shooting bullets everywhere. It was exploding into smaller guns to shoot bullets everywhere and then exploding again, and like doing a fuck ton of damage in that sense. But it wasn't a significantly useful fucking tool. It didn't really like change the way I fucking played anything. It sort of just wasted a fuck ton of ammo, and then it would, half the time, one of the fucking little guns would like explode back in my direction and do a fair chunk of damage to me when it exploded as well. Yeah, usually like a legendary, like, fuck yeah, here we go, this thing's gonna fucking melt. And it did not melt. It was just goofy, like goofy above and beyond expectations. Yeah, like an entertaining, fun gun, but I probably would switch it out pretty quickly once it was, that's what it is. A legendary is a gun where you have it and then you're like, I will have this for the next like fucking 8 levels. I'm not switching this shit out fucking ages. This thing, I would switch it out in a level. Like, there's just, they couldn't have been worth the fucking hassle, really. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the point where things like, that's weighing up those options, is generally you'll get a gun that you really like, and then it's not until 3 levels later that you'll find maybe the same color gun, like another purple, that's better than the same sort of style that you're used to. Because like at the end of that run, I found a legendary in our first playthrough when we're running in the early level stuff, and it was like shredding enemies. And it wasn't until I finished that fight that I'd realized that the reason I was shredding enemies because it was going through that much ammo. It was just blasting out bullets so quickly, and then I was like, I have no more ammo left. Okay, fair enough. But you could feel that they were different to the other guns I was using. Like the standard, blues and purples, or blues and whatever we're using, greens. It felt like it was doing some damage, and you can read like the flavor text on it, but tells you its special abilities and what it does and that sort of stuff is. I mean, that's the game, right? It's finding those sort of weapons and getting better ones like that.
I felt like there was a bit too much inventory management too early. Like, I don't want to like be having to go back to I don't want to have to stop picking up white weapons before I'm even level 5 type shit, because like, it's a nice problem to have, obviously, but it just feels like there's a lot of shit.
It's a Diablo 3 problem, right? You don't pick up whites. Because you've got so much other crap.
I was getting to the point where I'm like, I might have to stop picking up greens. Like, you just had fucking so much, and so much, it just relegates stuff to trash really quickly. It sort of like ruins the idea of billions of guns, because like a huge percentage of them just don't fucking matter at all.
Well, they don't matter to you at that stage.
But like, there's nothing you can do with them. It's you sort of sell them for a couple of bucks each. Which is
that's
not engaging to me. Like, being some sort of fucking gun vendor is not. It's not what I'm signing up for.
I found some guns in the vendor, in the vending machines that were better than what I was using that I'd picked up. There's a grenade that's pretty cool.
Found a blue longbow. Longbows are always my favorite. The ones that teleport to their location. Fuck, I love them.
Is that when you reload them?
No, the longbow grenade is the one where you throw it and it like just teleports straight wherever and it explodes. It's fucking sick. Those things are fucking rad. Found a blue shotgun in a vending machine that absolutely fucking punted. But I had to, like, when I found it, I bought it immediately and I couldn't use it for like 2 more levels. But I held on. I'm like, oh, this thing's gonna fucking wreck, and it did. It absolutely did. Didn't do anything particularly special. I could switch between corrosive and electric, but still sick, awesome. Loved it. And we got to play as Flak. The last class that they revealed. Was he a hunter? Beastmaster? I don't know. What the fuck he's called? They, sorry. Good point. They are a hunter / beastmaster / whatever the fuck. They've got like 3 different pets. You can get a different pet for each. Like each tree has a different pet. I checked out all the pets. The objectively best pet is the skag, which is basically just a dog. It's no question. It acts like a dog, does dog things. That's all you need to know. Whenever you pet it, you can pet all the animals. Mm-hmm. Whenever you pet it, it does like it jumps around in a circle because it's so happy, which is the best. The other 2 you can get are the Java, which is like an ape that you're on from a planet you'll encounter later. It's got a gun, it shoots the gun. You can get it, you can upgrade it so that it actually fires a fucking rocket launcher, which is pretty sick. But it's a weird pet. When you pet it, it cupcakes itself. It farts in its hand and then sniffs it, which is pretty weird. And then the third one is the fucking spider ants.
Yep.
It does spider ant things. It's basically just a spider ant. Like, if you know what a spider ant is from Borderlands, it burrows underground. It bashes things with its head.
It's like a drill hand or something as well, or like different parts that you could swap out of it, I think, depending on like the skill tree you went through.
The spider ant.
I think so, yeah.
I don't really use it all that much, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it changes out, but it had like a drill on one of its arms, like a drill arm.
That might have been the burrowing one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can sort of just augment it that way. Like augment all your pets. That's the interesting thing about the skill tree this time, is that you've got like these augments on the side. Once you reach a certain threshold on any skill tree, you can augment everything from there on out.
And it's super flexible.
Yeah, it is. It really allows you to like customize the way you play. So Flak has pets, but they also have these active skills as well beyond the pets. The pets are sort of just always there. And they've got these active skills outside of the pets, like super varied playstyle, which is rad. The one I used was the stealth, go invisible. You rapidly like get health back while you're invisible, and you do crit damage when you attack. From like if you've got 3 attacks, and all 3 will do massive like 200% crit damage. Which is awesome, and like can be a great way to sort of get out of a bind, clear yourself some space, and then get back into the fight. The other 2, all the other 2, there was the racks. You throw a bunch of fucking birds at people.
That's what I was using. It was amazing.
It didn't seem that good.
It would, because they basically like a flock of birds that you could sort of target to an enemy, or you'd throw them out and it'd sort of go towards an enemy. But you could use them sort of like one after the other. Like they had a cooldown on them, and you had tokens. So I think by default you've got 2, and there's like a timer of once you throw one out, and that timer starts ticking up, and eventually you'll refill that meter again, and the second one will come back. But you could like theoretically throw one out and then throw another one out. You'd be all out of rack attacks, but you could definitely get to 3, because later on when I was playing I updated it, and you can start applying like elemental effects to them, so that at one stage I had birds that were on fire, and then at another stage they were like cryo birds that would freeze people. Nice. And they couldn't attack, and so you just shoot them and they'd just smash into all these pieces. I think there were ones where they would heal you or something like that. No, I actually don't want to go that far, because I don't actually remember what that one was. I'd need to look up the skill tree, that off the top of my head I can't remember. But that's the thing, right, is that you before, when you played Borderlands, it was like, oh, okay, who's going to be the mercenary, like the commando, who's going to be our tank? Whereas now, you could obviously play those ways before, like we're gonna have 2 commandos, but they play pretty much similar, like in terms of their style. But now you can have like both of us go Beastmasters and have completely different skill trees because you're using a different pet, but they've also got all these side, passives that are completely different to what I'm using, and so, that's what makes it really cool, is that we can both play the same character, and we're not going to be the same, like, skill tree.
Yeah. Yeah. That seemed like Flak's special deal, though. They seem like a really, really versatile character with a lot of different ways that you could play them. That I didn't see really from the Siren when I played her. She sort of just felt like every other fucking Siren.
Yeah.
I guess. After the first session, I switched to Mose, and you played more Flak.
Yes. Yeah.
Mose is pretty versatile, but like pretty subtly versatile. Like it seems like more of a min-maxes kind of character. She has the mech that she can jump in. She summons a mech and jumps in the mech and starts fucking wrecking, like just fucking punting cunts, which is awesome. But like at the same time, all of her trees sort of build towards the same thing. Like she can build a railgun mech or a minigun mech or a grenade launcher mech. And you can augment all of those in dramatically different ways, but it's still always a mech, right? Not just a mech, but it's still always a mech. Which, I feel like you're sort of playing the one style there. That said, like there were some trees that I didn't really go down at all or play with or like meddle with. Like if you went down the railgun tree, you could swap out your railguns entirely and just get these fucking bear claws and you run up and just like punt.
Melee people.
Or you could like have one of your bear claws like stretch out and grab an enemy and then drag them back in, and the other hand would like rapid punch them to bloody bits.
Yeah.
The chain gun one had flamethrowers. You could switch out the chain guns for flamethrowers and then like power up your incendiary damage and just like run up to everyone and just like flame them to death. But the one I switched out the grenade launcher for rocket launcher, which is pretty much a lateral move. But then I was able to, once we leveled up in the session, I was able to unlock the nuke.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. Just fucking nuking all over the place. Just fucking... I love nukes in games. It wasn't the biggest nuke, but it was still very satisfying to use on enemies. And we were playing in co-op. We were supposed to have loot sharing turned off, but it didn't seem like we did.
Yeah.
It seemed like loot sharing was still on. I think that was just the build we were in.
Yep.
I wanted to steal all your loot, but actually wasn't.
You didn't need to. Because we were high enough level, we'd been given all this cool gear, and we weren't really, like, at that stage. It takes a while to level up at that end-game content.
Yeah.
I got you again. It wasn't end-game content. But, like, we weren't going to get probably gear that was better than what we had anyway, so...
Yeah. Though you got something, didn't you? You got a fucking purple or something, didn't you? I didn't get shit.
I think we got a legendary at the end.
No, you got a legendary, and that's right. I got fucking dick ball. Again.
Yep.
Fucking absolute fucking joke. Unbelievable. It was good fun in co-op though. Like it's literally the only way I want to play Borderlands 3. It's the only way I want to play Borderlands in general is co-op. It's just the best way to play, basically, in my opinion. The game is built to be a co-op experience. It means that anytime the writing falls flat or anything, there's someone there to sort of lift it up, keep it going, like carry the momentum through. That's the tricky part about writing a game where humor is critical, is that there are occasions where the like jokes won't land, and you need to not have that drag down the entire experience, I guess. And co-op allows that to happen. That and yeah, it feels like everything about the game is built around co-op. You know, the mech, you can put a fucking turret on the back of the mech, and your other player can jump on the turret and shit, which is sick. Like you can do all kinds of stuff that, yeah, but only really in co-op. Like it's built towards playing co-op.
I mean, at this stage, we don't know as well what endgame is.
Yeah.
Or if there is one. I mean, they said there is stuff, but we don't know what it is. Like, you've got this single-player experience that is able to be experienced in co-op, but surely they got to be going after, like, the Destiny.
Yeah.
And being like, well, we're going to have endgame raids or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It seems like they would need to, at this stage, to keep it more like a games of the service, something like that. But in saying that, maybe they don't because they haven't talked about any of it.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd be hyping that up a bit. So
I would imagine that we would have heard about it by now.
Because they definitely had endgame like raid bosses in the last games.
It's a month away.
Max. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had raid bosses. And they were some of my favorite fucking parts of the game. Yeah, like I guarantee you they'll have raid bosses again. There's no question in my mind. So, yeah, that's co-op stuff, 100%. Like,
yeah, right.
You got to play that in co-op. You can't play it single player, basically. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. What else? Ice-T plays a pink teddy bear, or at least a navigation AI that has been crammed into a pink teddy bear and yeeted off a ship. I loved his performance. I thought it was fucking fantastic because he plays this like downtrodden boyfriend. He was dating the ship. You're exploring the ship. And he was dating the ship. He was the navigation module dating the ship, which is just some shit that I can't even fathom. And
have like a falling out, right?
Yeah, they had a falling out, and so she got him kicked out. We won't go into it too much. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's just a really, really good delivery. He just plays it like this. Yeah, beaten down, like fucked up, scorned boyfriend, and she like they have like arguments all the time, and she's like passive aggressively teeing him up, and he's passive aggressively taking shots back and stuff like that. And yeah, it's great writing, great delivery, a really good character. It's a weird one to hear Ice-T in, but yeah, it does it really well, which is sick.
Yeah, we at the stage we didn't know it was him. There was a rumor.
I knew.
There was a rumor a while back saying that he might be in the game, but he didn't confirm it.
Yeah.
And then when we were playing, we were like, yeah, this is him.
I knew.
And it wasn't until afterwards we were like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, it wasn't confirmed until afterwards, but the bear had his.
He kept saying Ice-T shit.
There was that, and yeah, his bear had that FLTG, which is his fucking Twitter in-game tag type thing. So, yeah, I knew it was him. Like I was 100% certain, but
knock that fool's head off. And
yeah,
like melee the robot's head.
Yeah, that's good.
It was good.
And then
yeah, he was awesome. I mean, that's the Borderlands experience, right? Is finding these awesome characters and interacting with them.
We got to see a sentient dinosaur fight a sentient ape.
Yeah.
Which was pretty rad. Like, just crazy shit is what you're signing up for, basically. Like, just cartoon shit, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, at one point, we thought we were doing a mission wrong because we fucking belting so many enemies.
Yeah.
And it was like, are we supposed to be sitting here? Or are we supposed to go, like, somewhere else?
Yeah.
Is it forcing us to like go to an area, and there was just so many guys that were coming at us. It was nuts.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what the rest of the game looks like. From what I've played, it's Borderlands brought into modern day stuff. A lot of good tweaks to sort of the playability of it. The making it a bit more, I don't know, just quality of life things that we talked about. You play the Borderlands 2 content and you can feel like, it's still a fun game to play, but you can tell that it's like a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
It's feeling up to date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I've got footage on that'll be up on YouTube again this week on our video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm going to edit that, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Right, good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, soon. That's a month off.
It's literally like 13th of next month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm definitely keen. It's going to be hopefully really good if they can keep up what we've seen.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Let's do some
news quickly.
Yep.
Dota 2 International 2019 has kicked off today. Last couple of hours ago. I've watched one game so far.
Yeah, me too.
One and a bit. Because it started just before we kicked off this show. $33 million prize pool currently, just shy of 33 million USD, which is massive. That's up from last year. It was around the $25 million mark.
Yep, which I correctly guessed. I don't know if anyone remembers. I guessed it and Luke didn't, but don't worry about it. Whatever.
I don't think we had a guessing competition.
We definitely absolutely fucking did. I can't believe.
This year?
Not this year, last year. I guessed it last year. We didn't have one this year.
You still owe me ice cream for something like
that. That is absolute bullshit. You still owe me ice cream for correctly guessing last year's. And I guessed that OG would win.
Yeah.
I guessed it all.
Yeah. So group stage is on at the moment.
Yeah.
Twitch has a multi-stream format, which is good.
It's right.
It means I don't have to have multiple pages open or using an external program to watch multiple games at once. They've basically taken what Mixer had in there when they launched.
Yeah.
So this multi-stream thing's only a couple months old. I think it was released out in about May, June.
Right.
Works well. Brings up all the feeds at once. You can click on the one you want to watch and starts the audio at the same time. And the chat, which shouldn't ever be on the screen anyway. I don't know why chat exists.
I don't know why chat exists either. Yeah, I had no idea.
For those types of events, because it's just bullshit. Like,
yeah, spamming.
It's either something racist or something sexist or just random shit. It just shouldn't be on there.
Yep.
So that's good. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to see the outcome of this as someone who does not follow Dota much at all anymore. Just the sort of watch the esports side of it.
Yeah.
We'll be in Melbourne when I think the finals are on. So that's going
to be... I believe we will be. Yes, they're on at a reasonable time as well. We will.
Oh yeah. They all start at like 10 o'clock.
11, yeah.
10 a.m., 11 o'clock.
Yep.
We don't have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning
to watch
a final. Fuck you. You go wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning now.
Motherfuckers.
America.
Fuck you, America.
Yeah.
Lucky you're getting out of the way before you leave for America. Yeah. Don't let them hear this podcast.
No.
Or you're fucked.
They won't let me in anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be real good we'll have to see if we can find it playing somewhere. I suspect. I mean, they've got some esports bars down there and stuff, so.
Oh yeah.
That'll be cool. Definitely gonna
one day
chase that shit down. Yeah.
Yep. On top of that, the OG documentary.
Yes.
Sponsored by Red Bull.
Created
by Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a team interview them and follow them around and grab old content from over the years, sort of talk about the journey of OG, starting from super early,
yes.
like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And them sort of forming as a team, the creation of OG, the failures of that team, what they kind of went through up until last year's finals run.
Yeah,
where they ended up winning the entire thing.
Hmm.
I thought it had some good moments in there. My biggest criticism about it is the way they presented the fights, like the actual in-game content was just like not easy to watch. Sometimes it'd be like one of the players on the screen with their name, and in the background like a weird wallpaper, and you could see like some of the game footage playing with what they're talking about. Like it wasn't obvious what was going on at all. It was
They
just
definitely
really
downplayed
quick
the
cuts.
game itself in favor of the people.
And talking about it, but not really showing what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just a weird way of showing that or relaying that information, I thought, at least.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was cool. Like getting the backstories about the creation of it, and then like with OG and with No Tail and Fly sort of creating this team, and then them being best friends for all this time,
Yeah.
and then Fly leaving at the last minute and taking other players with them, and then OG having no team and possibly not having any team until they bring in Anna, and then another player that fucking pub stomps, and then their team manager coach is also now playing, and
Yep.
he hasn't played for a professional. Well, he's played professional Dota, but not at that level.
For like years and years, yeah.
Like he's played pro Dota, but he's never played at that level
Yeah.
before. It'd be like you playing in a fucking PUBG tournament and being like, we can play this,
So we'd win then.
we're super fucking lightweight. Like we've never played up against Atletico or anything like that.
That's true.
Yeah, and so this dude just jumps in, and all of a sudden it's his first pro game, and yeah,
He's gangster.
like the stories behind that are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I pitched essentially that story days after the international finished. But
How'd you go with that money?
yeah, obviously my video has been a raging success. Yeah, one of those things where I guess a bunch of people wants to pitch the same thing all at the same time type deal. Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked what they put out. Like you said, I think they could have treated the game with a bit more respect. I realize that you want to tell the human angle, but I feel like it's important to remind everyone.
Like how they did it.
Yeah, yeah,
All the moments that did it.
yeah,
Right, like I can't go back and tell you what happened in those games for them to win that. Like you're going back to even in Dota references like the Echo Slam,
yeah.
like that sort of stuff. Or you could look at it at basketball with like Shaq and Kobe, like Shaq going up for the layup or the alley. Kobe passes it to Shaq.
There's this
like those moments. There was none of that in this documentary.
There's this SB Nation series that I watch a lot of called Rewind, I think it is. And they basically take a single moment in time and then they rewind all the way back to like deep dive in like how we arrived at this one moment. It'll be like the couple of years ago the Seahawks threw when they were on like the 2-yard line to lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they like wind back all the way to work out how they arrived there and why it wound up in that moment being the choice that they made. Yeah. And you get this insight into like why they would, like on the face of it, not being someone who's played Madden, right, but never been fucking wildly into NFL. But even from my perspective, right, I would still fucking run it.
Sure.
In that situation. But yeah, NFL pros are like, why the fuck would they do that? Like everyone was like, why the fuck? From people who don't know, like me, to people who do. And then they deep dive all the way in, they work it out, and yeah, it's like a really interesting perspective because you get you get the story of both teams, both sides of it, and something like that for Dota or esports in general would be fucking amazing. Like wind all the way back into how an Echo Slam could win $6 million. Or even in this OG documentary, they talked about the moment, the sub moment.
Yeah.
But they didn't really detail it. You could do a 30-minute fucking piece literally just on that. Literally just on how they wound up in that, basically saving their fucking lives.
How their coach carried the game.
Yeah.
Who's never played a pro game before. Or a pro level that high.
Yeah, like you could literally do an entire fucking documentary just on that. Just start there and rewind back to the start of this fucking series and everything that must have gone into him having to be player / coach, having to help this team, Anna on Phantom Lancer, doing whatever he could. Yeah, like all these little things that like play in, and meanwhile you can tell the story of LGD on the other side and how they carry the weight of China on their fucking shoulders because every other Chinese team had already been fucking knocked out like 6 positions ago, and like this was China's year, and like they were destined to win, and like this was the moment, right? They get that kill and it's fucking over, and then that. And meanwhile, in this OG documentary, like, wow, if you hear someone say just one word, that's important. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and it's I think it's considered one of the best, if not the best, series in Dota that's been played, and you don't get that sense through that documentary that like it was that important.
But there is that other documentary that did really deep dive
after it.
Yeah.
Valve's one.
Valve's one, yeah. So, maybe they just felt like, that story had already been done to death and they were trying to attack a different angle. I get that. It's still, like, it's absolutely worth watching. Like I said on our Discord, I don't want to suck Business Daddy's dick too much, but it's exactly the sort of content I want to see heaps more of. And particularly if they want to pay me to make it. But, even if they don't, that's the sort of content that I think esports needs way more of. Deep dives into the relationships and drama behind, the esports as a sporting endeavor. Yeah. Yep. All right.
Cool. Anyway, that's on now. We'll talk about it more next week, I guess, when we keep watching.
It's true.
All right. DayZ update from last week. Yep. Obviously, refused classification in Australia due to having cannabis in the game. Yep. Since then, there's been a statement from Bohemia Interactive saying that they're removing it from the game. Now.
Yep. Right. Well,
it didn't work in the first place, so.
Yep. Cool, I guess. Whatever. I guess the Australian market, it's very important to be able to sell in the Australian market,
Yeah, it's a weird whatever's happening.
Yeah.
All right, so that might get resubmitted or something. I don't know what.
I suppose it will. Yeah.
Happening.
It'll get resubmitted
there, but we'll find out.
Yep.
So you don't have to.
Don't worry
about not being able to buy it if you've not bought this game that's been out for 7 years
and not been finished.
No.
In all that time. Yeah. Don't worry.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Next up, Need for Speed Heat. New Need for Speed game by Ghost Games.
Yep.
Ex-Criterion. They've made a bunch of Need for Speed games. First two were good. The rest have been crap. You've played them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking crap.
No, I'm not disagreeing. It's just...
Remember when they were like, we're rebooting Need for Speed? And it was called like Need for Speed. And it was like, this is crap.
Yep.
And then they were like, the next one's Need for Speed Rivals. Or was that what it was? Need for Speed Rivals?
I don't remember. I've
that one
completely yeeted the Need for Speed series out of my mind.
Those like first two Ghost games were really good. Like Most Wanted and whatever the one after that was. Maybe it was Rivals. I can't remember.
Not sure.
But anyway, they've announced this game, Need for Speed Heat.
Yep.
I'm not excited. You can't get me excited for a Need for Speed game after they've made a bunch of crap ones.
It's set in Miami, so I'm...
Is it?
Yeah, well...
Did you get a press release?
Palm City, yes, I did.
Okay, because I watched the trailer as it went live last night. Like I was on the premiere channel.
Oh, yeah?
It finished, and I was like, I do not even understand what this game is.
Right. Fair
It
enough.
looks like maybe it's going for a Most Wanted vibe, but there's cops in it.
Definitely going for a most wanted vibe. Deep customization, authentic urban car culture, an open world, and an immersive narrative all fuel the new Need for Speed game. Watch the world gameplay reveal August 19 at Gamescom. Um, Need for Speed Heat sends fans to Palm City, a brand new open world where street racers have gathered to make their names known. By day, players compete in the Speed Hunters Showdown, a sanctioned competition where they earn bank to customize and upgrade their garage of high-performance cars. At night, players risk it all to build their rep in underground races, where a rogue police task force roams the streets, ready to take racers down and swipe all their earnings. The roads, the risks, and the rides never end in this street racer where a player can... I should have read this before I started, where a player can roll deep with their crew, build their garage full of hot cars, and make the city their non-stop playground. That's not the most appealing elevator pitch I've ever seen. So I guess it'll have a day-night cycle. And you do, what, legitimate races in the morning?
And at night, you're a rebellious street racer.
Yeah. Like, what? Are you driving the same car that you're racing the Speed Hunters Showdown? Wouldn't they just be like, isn't that Luke? That's Luke's WRX. I saw him racing that fucking this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. The bit where it lost me, the trailer. You've watched the trailer?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's fantastic. Just at the start, there's a bit where they're doing the whole cop thing, and the cop is like yelling. This is like them trying to introduce the story part, and it's cheesy as fuck. The cop's like telling the guy to get out of his car, and he's like, "I want you to get out of the car right now." And then it zooms in on his face, and it's like, "I said right now," or something like that. It's just really bad. And then that's when the trailer kicks off. Like the fucking music starts going, and there's cars like driving around, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what have they done?"
Do they use "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins?
Maybe.
That's like, if there ever was a fucking moment for it, right? Directly evoking that one scene in Miami Vice that anyone gives a fuck about that's the time. Okay, they got to do it. Like, get on that shit. Don't waste any time. Okay, if they don't do it, right? Everyone email EA and tell them to hire Joab to direct some of this shit. And when I get in, right, I will make Skate 4. I promise. All I will do, I'll be like, yeah. And you know what else? You should have, like, on the left thumbstick, when you pull it down and flick it up, the car's front flicks upwards, right? And you can do the same. So you can basically make a car jump by flicking the thumbsticks, all right? And then, like, once we're 90% of the way through production of that physics system, I will, like, swap all the cars for skateboards, and they won't even know what fucking hit them, right? They'll be so deep. I'll give them the fucking Anthem treatment. They'll be so deep into making this game that they won't be able to pivot in any other direction but to just be like, oh no, it's Skate 4 now, and then we'll have done it. And it'll all because of your old pal Jobo.
Yeah.
Like you knew it would always be. No, like I said before, I'm always right, so just, make Skate 4.
Right.
Next.
But you should just watch this trailer, because it
sounds good. I can't wait.
It's really bad. The bit where he yells, like, "I said right now," is where it just goes to another level.
Yep. Excellent.
And zooms in on his face. You're like, "Oh, this is what we're in for." And then they show you nothing that looks appealing in that game. You're just like, this looks like it could be any car game. I don't know what I'm watching.
Sweet. They were teasing it on Twitter. With the tag, I've got the need ... And I said for Skate 4, and I also put another tweet out for Burnout.
Right.
And they were both even. People equally want Skate 4 and Burnout, it would appear. So they just don't want Need for Speed. I don't know.
The one I put up was last night. Like, this is like 5 minutes after the trailer dropped. It was Need for Speed: I'm gonna need you to buy those loot boxes, ... right now. And then after that, it was a video of the guy screaming, I said right now. Because
it's spectacular.
Anyway.
Why did you waste... You should have chucked it out way earlier. You got to put it out at prime time. 4:16 might be too late.
It was up at 12, whatever. I think it was like 12 o'clock last night, or 11 a.m., 11 p.m. last night. It went up, and like 5 minutes after that, 10 minutes after that, I edited the video, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but you got to. The trick is, right, you got to put your tweets out at the right time to get the maximum exposure. You're already catering to your US crowd.
Yep.
But
then if I wait till tomorrow, like the next day, I'm too slow on this shit. Someone else has stolen it.
No, you think that, but nobody's as funny as we are. Like, so.
Okay, fair enough.
You just wait it out. You can just wait it out. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Lastly.
Next up, Gfinity AU shuts shop.
Yes.
This is the esports league in Australia that we're doing like a state versus state sort of competition.
Yep.
And it was being broadcast on TV, as well as being hosted in a Hoyts.
Yeah, hosted
doing like Rocket
Hoyts
League
in Moore Park near you,
yep.
Which was an awesome idea. And yeah, broadcast on whatever the Channel 10 youth channel is, but only the Rocket League. Most importantly, they were giving like a lot of LAN opportunities to up and coming players, and it is a real shame that they're shutting down. Some genuine talent was discovered out of Gfinity, and I talked to a lot of the players who played Gfinity. There were absolutely issues, and yeah, people who look at it from the business perspective definitely had some like questions, I guess, worries, concerns about whether or not they were investing too heavily, too quickly. I
think they were. I heard about the operating loss for this thing.
Yeah.
And the number I saw seems insane.
Yeah. But it was an initial large outlay that was necessary because they were modifying. They needed the studio/cinema situation. So that would have been a massive initial outlay. That they were, they would have, they could not have possibly hoped to have recouped that in 2 years, which is why I was extremely surprised that they decided to cease operations come November. They are, completing their obligations to the Supercars series. But yeah, they're shutting down after that. As far as I understand it, they had a 5-year plan that they shut off just after 2 years. I saw a lot of people yesterday on Twitter gloating, largely people who I guess felt that they had been shut out of Gfinity for whatever reason. They didn't want to buy in or didn't believe in the structure or anything like that. I know that, business relationships are always tricky, and I know that some of the top people at Gfinity butted heads with others around the industry. I know that happened, but a lot of people found out, had it publicized that they were losing their jobs yesterday. And I thought it was a bit shit that there wasn't more empathy for the people who were, who had just found out they weren't going to have a job in 3 months. Mm-hmm. Obviously, 3 months is a lot of time, but it's still a pretty fucking emotional time to find out that your job's ceasing to exist.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I felt like it was handled kind of shabbily by a number of people. That said, like I said, I do understand the perspective of the people who felt like, justified in their concerns. Or not justified, who felt like they had valid concerns that were shouted down. It just seems like maybe, 3 minutes after the announcement isn't necessarily the time to start gloating. I just thought it was a bit shitty. Anyway, that's all it's all inside baseball bullshit. It's a shame. Long story short, it's a shame that it's shutting down. And yeah, I'm sad that we won't get to see another season of it. Because, yeah, it did actually factually provide a lot of up-and-coming talent with some great opportunities to grow their talent. And it's something that the Australian esports scene really desperately needs. And so crying from the sidelines that it shut down because you said it would initially doesn't really help anyone except for you. So, yeah.
Right. So what does Hoyts do with this studio now?
I'm not sure. They've got like a really good setup. I'd love to see them do something with it. Like, I'd love to see them do even just banner marquee events, esports events or something. I mean, they've got all that space. There's ample opportunity. There absolutely needs to be the opportunity for more lands, especially in Sydney. So, yeah.
I wonder if like ESL can use it, or
no, I don't think
League
so.
of Legends or something. Is it too small?
League of Legends might be able to use it. ESL already has a really good setup.
Yeah.
Here in Auburn. Like, they've got maybe not as comfy as cinema seats, but they've got like a really tight setup for their production systems and stuff. Riot has a really good setup or like layout that doesn't really allow for an audience, which I think could be awesome if Riot could come to some sort of agreement to use it, even just for the occasional fucking, even for the gauntlet or something. That'd be fantastic. The Australian teams, OCE teams in League of Legends rarely get the opportunity to actually play in front of a live crowd, and you talk to all of the dudes who do, all of the players who do get that opportunity, and they're like, they constantly, every single one of them says it is nothing like the regular experience of playing in the studio. Nothing like it. It is like, you can feel the energy, you can feel the crowd being there for you or against you, and it changes the way you play, and it's something you desperately need to experience if you're going to improve at the game. So I think it'd be fantastic if they could find some way to use that space, but I guess at the end of the day, it depends on what Hoyts wants to do with it. I can't imagine that they would have refit it without, and then only to unfit it, to break it all down again. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. All right, and the last one we got here is Tim Willits from id fame, who left that company. We talked about this a couple of weeks back, leaving id. Has joined up with Saber Interactive. He will be the chief creative officer, and in doing so, will be overseeing 5 of their studios from around the world. So it sounds like maybe sort of a similar role as to what he was doing back at id, but working with more teams.
I think, as I understand it, what he wanted was the opportunity to sort of branch out away from first-person shooters and grow his experience in that way, and sort of flex his creative muscles in a way that wasn't, the id games that he's been making for the last 40 fucking years or whatever. So yeah, I think it's similar, but I believe he wants to have more hands-on elements. So yeah, because I think he was largely hands-off by the end of his tenure at Bethesda. So
I think a lot of the Rage stuff, it sounded like he was pretty involved in that.
Yep.
Like, talking to him a bunch, like, he really wanted Rage to work. It was sort of his universe, and I think he was super heavily involved in the first one, and obviously involved in the second one. Probably not as much, but I think a lot of that, what he had to say, and also helping them, build a first-person shooter. I think he did a really good job with that, because the shooting in that game was outstanding. Just the rest of it had a bit of a problem, the open world parts. But yeah, I think he had a hand in some of those games. Just there wasn't a lot of them coming out. Like, I don't think he probably did much with Doom. That's probably a different team. He was more on the id side. What is the id side? Who is working on Doom? I don't even know. Is it id?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, gets him I didn't realize this was news until I saw it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dying, eh? What the fuck?
It's this cough from Paris.
It's just a touch of the consumption. Don't worry, Joe.
When I had that 12-hour flu in Paris.
Yeah, right.
It's coming all back. It's coming all back to me.
Yep. All right, Celine. We got questions. Let's do questions and then wrap this up. We got a question. Dangers, who said, I collect the coffee for the OG documentary because he is a cunt. Sorry, my bad. That's not what he asked. No, anyway. Dangers writes, hi, Nuke and Moab. That's pretty good. When will there be an esports team made up of gapers? Or gappers, I guess. Gappers. And what will you play? I feel the industry is yearning for something fresh and exciting, and this could be the ticket. Well, Dangers, the only esports game that has Jack and Daxter would be some sort of PlayStation All-Stars sequel. So I guess we'll have to go with that. Thoughts, Luke?
I'm just trying to think. I don't know.
Underlords?
I was going to go with Underlords, but that seems too...
Going to team.
How do you play that as a team-based game?
Well, you have me as a coach standing behind you. And I'm allowed to talk while the game's playing, not just in between rounds. No. You Auto Chess is a team mode. You got 2 people, and they share a health bar. It's pretty crazy. It's good times.
Oh, Auto Chess, not Underlords.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yes. So you could you could do something like that. They could build in that direction. We could do PUBG, as long as I get to coach and I'm allowed to talk while the game is going, as a sort of in-game leader who doesn't have to shoot. That'd work out. You could do some shooting.
What if we had 4 PCs and I'm playing by myself, and then when one person dies, I go to the next PC?
We were doing that the other day, hey, in a game that we're not allowed to talk about yet. But yes, that might work. That might work. Yeah. I don't know if we've got any of our gapers are up to the challenge of PUBG. That's the problem. We need to find something that the gapers are good at. That's why Underlords is a pro tip.
Right.
Because it feels like if you listen to the Gap, you might not be terribly mechanically adept. Just skills-wise. Yeah. But strategically. Like, you're clearly a IQ 400 genius, evidenced by you listening to the Gap in the first place. It's just that your ability to actually hit shots has well past you, which is why JB hasn't gotten a kill in PUBG in the last 6 weeks or whatever the fuck it is. But on the flip side, right, a game like Underlords, you don't need to hit shots. You just need to drag stuff in the correct positions.
Yeah, you just need to roll right.
And, roll correctly. Like, just roll better. Which is, I haven't really gotten the hang of yet. I'm still rolling poorly. But, yeah. You got, I think Underlords might be it. We could branch out into team fight tactics. Be one of those, some teams, Fnatic has, a team that's a Dota team. They've got a League of Legends team at the same time.
Yeah.
Sort of covering all their bases. We could be like that. We could sign on.
I feel like we'd be more on the shoutcasting side.
We could be OGAP and sign on with OG, right?
Yep.
And OGAP is their Underlords crew, right? And we'll be Australians who talk. It's like the reverse of Anna on OG, who's an Australian who doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get an interview and it's an hour and a half interview.
Yeah.
Instead of 15 minutes.
Yeah, you'd be like, are these two going to shut the fuck up? They know I have to transcribe this, right?
Question, and they haven't answered it yet.
Yeah, they haven't got to it. One of them's talking about a chair he made.
Basketball.
and the other one won't shut the fuck up about basketball. Yeah. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get. Great question, Tangers. And I forgive you for saying I get the coffee on the OG documentary. It's okay. One day I will be able to do more than just get a coffee. I have drinks. That's it.
That's it. That's the questions. Thanks for that.
We're back on track.
We are back. You can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, YouTube, all those places. Search for The Gap or the GA podcast should come up. Notice that iTunes has changed their podcast section.
Oh.
And we've been, or video games in general, have been moved from hobbies and games, and they've renamed that into leisure. And they've chucked a bunch of different categories in there. I think like board games are in there now. Like a section for just sort of dice games, tabletop games.
Right.
We're still under the leisure section. Well, sorry, we're in the leisure section under video games, so we're still on the front page.
Right.
And the way they've reformatted that is if you go into the video game section now, they've cleaned up that entire area, and it's now best-selling podcasts, and we're still up the top of there. And they've removed a bunch of the old crap that people don't really listen to anymore.
Australian Game Podcast.
And so,
I get it.
If you're struggling, like that. If you're struggling you shouldn't struggle to find us, but if you're like trying to figure out where the video game section has gone, because they've changed the drop-down list, because it took me a good 10 seconds to be like, what the fuck, where's the video game section gone?
Should I look into that and see if I can make it easier to find?
No, I think they've moved
Okay.
video games into leisure, and so we're still listed as a video game podcast. We're just in a different category, because that category that we're in is no longer a category. It's now games and hobbies is now leisure.
Right.
And they've maybe chucked a couple of different, maybe like movies are in. I don't really know. No, I think there's an entertainment one, because I looked at entertainment and was like, is video games in here or technology or something like that? I don't remember. Anyway, leisure. We're definitely still there. Top 20 podcasts. Second line, you can't miss us. Easy to find.
We're the best.
Yeah. And also on top of that, thank you everyone that's been listening. We just did our biggest month of the year, possibly all time, because the one that was before that, I think that was just a DDoS on our servers.
Right.
So I'm counting this one as an official.
Nice.
Biggest month of the year. So that's
Fuck
awesome.
yeah.
We're starting to ramp up to the end of the year, and that's when things get really busy.
People know.
Yeah. If you want to send us questions like Dangers, you can do so on our Discord page, thegapodcast.com/Discord. We've got a bunch of other channels on there, people sending questions. The Dota 2 channel is going to be pumping this week.
Yep.
I've already had one of my questions answered.
That's crazy.
About what is going on in Dota, because I didn't understand what was happening.
Neither did I.
So thanks for answering that one.
Who owns
if
that?
you want to do it,
Frisco?
Sorry?
I knew it was Frisco. He's Johnny on the spot.
He's on point.
It's definitely not a hamburger. You can see that, right?
It's a shovel in it. It's not a hamburger.
No, there's a shovel. There's a fucking...
Is it a rock?
Meerkat or lemur from fucking Madagascar. There's a set of drums. There's a lime green pufferfish. A stop hand signal. How come you can spot what a fucking Dota character is when you can only see 3 fucking pixels on a fucking square background, but you can't work out what a fucking drum looks like versus a fucking hamburger?
Is it actually a drum?
Yeah, motherfucker, it's clearly a drum. I don't even have it on my good screen. I'll bring it over to the good screen. Yeah, that's so obviously a drum. Oh my lord.
It is true. It's got music coming out.
Oh my god. Fucking
I only had a brief look.
The old musical
that's
hamburger.
a
You took a
hamburger.
fucking screenshot of it.
I didn't actually. Yeah, shut up. Or you can email us to gapodcast@gmail.com. Old fashioned way.
Yep.
All facts. What's your fax number, Joab?
Thank
Thank you. You can find us on facebook.com/gapodcast, twitter.com/gapodcast. You can go to our YouTube page, thegapodcast.com/YouTube. We've got the Outer Worlds footage up from last week. I put a little bit of audio in there as well. Like not a huge amount, but you can still listen. There's probably about, I think we talked about it for about 45 minutes, something like that. There's a bunch on there. I didn't get all of it up, but decent amount. This week with Borderlands 3.
Yep.
The frame rate is a bit
Whack.
below average. We weren't playing on the best computers.
Luke wasn't. They gave Luke the shit computer.
Yeah, mine was terrible.
It was perfect on mine. It was
I saw
144.
Ziggy D took his videos down
Oh, really?
because he was getting complaints about his.
Oh, okay.
So he just took the videos down.
Wow.
Which is unfortunate because that guy puts a lot of work into his stuff.
He does. Yeah.
And he's extremely good. Like, I was watching it last night.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all of it because it went for fucking ages, but I watched the first part until he stopped talking.
Right.
So yeah, that's disappointing. Anyway, you can go there and check it out. It's gonna have Joab and I being idiots in co-op.
100%. But you can't hear us talking. There won't be.
You shouldn't be able to hear us talking.
You should put a bit of iced tea in there.
Yeah.
Let iced tea talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can also go to our website, which is thegapodcast.com. It's got links to all of the things we just talked about, including past episodes of the show if you want to check them out. And that is all thanks to our Patreon members. If you want to help support this show, go to patreon.com/GAPodcast and subscribe. Thank you to everyone that does that every month.
Thanks. You're the best.
Pay the bills.
It does.
And I believe that is it. Have you got anything you want to pimp out this week for work or last week?
Go to Rebel and check out my my Borderlands 3 preview. I basically just break down the 2 new characters I got to play. We got a really good write-up of the storylines of the International that I'll chuck up on Discord, but that's on Rebel as well. And that is about it this week. Some other stuff coming, but it won't be out. We'll talk about it next week.
Yep. For me, you can go to twitter.com/Luke Lawrie, or you can go to Stevivor.com. I have my Outer Worlds preview go up, which was last week, I think. And next week, I've got Ghost Recon Breakpoint going up. I won't say when, but it'll be up next week. And then we'll talk about that next week, as well as some other stuff that we've played that we can't talk about yet.
Yeah, we can't.
But it's busy.
It's busy.
There's a lot of stuff coming. Like, review codes are coming as well for big games. Which is exciting. So
yeah,
it's starting to ramp up quite a lot. It's going to be exciting end of the year, it looks like, which is cool.
Yep.
Okay, and that is it. Next week.
Nice.
Breakpoint. Ghost Recon.
Yep.
Stick around.
Bye.
Bye.